I'm a little bit behind because I've been doing stuff. Whoa, put me in focus. I thought about a summer's day. New meeting. Hold the line, guys. Hold the goddamn line. We are in crisis mode. We are in crisis mode. That's what we're in. You just don't know it. Oh, it's Dan. You're first. You're the best. Graham, sorry, mate. You're not the best, buddy. I'm sorry, mate. You're the second best. Right, I need to invite Catherine. Participants, copy invite link. Hold the line. Big boy, I'm coming to you, my sweet little pumpkin. Hold the line. Hold the line. We're going to start this show and it's going to be a real humdinger. Whoa. Compose Catherine Boyle at dickhead.com. Zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. Copy, invite link, paste, send. We're in. We're in. We're in. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that. Honestly, it's happening, guys. The show is happening. And it's happening now. Welcome. We're in the show. We're locked in. We're locked in. Happy evening, everybody. Happy evening. Who have we got? We got, it's Dan, Graham, Dave Rockface, Jen, Katie4, Vavavoom, Marcus, Jason, Raymond, Eve, Zerma, thank you for the sub, Cozy Bug, Derelict, Cumberpatch, Ian Lee fan number 1, Unlucky Alf, Quiet Bloke, Big Boy, okay? Did you see that? Big Boy, okay? There we go. Quiet Bloke, Jim Adebo. Always New Depths. Richard, thank you for the sub. Erins. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Let me just set this up. Speakers like that. Oh, I'm actually quite hungry. I might have to. It's going to be a mukbang tonight. Cape Town Dean. It's going to be a mukbang tonight. We're going to have mukbang. Big boy mukbang. There we go. What? Lenny, thank you for the sub. What? A few days. Why do I look in focus on that screen and out of focus there? What the business? Always New Depths, Caterfer. We still. Oh, I didn't press the done. Refresh. I didn't press the done. I never press the done button. Why am I out of? There we go. JKRX Art and Jim Adebo. Thank you for the sub. My hair looks fine. I like the grey with the brown. King Cham 1, Roger Plankton. Just waiting for Catherine. So, busy week. My birthday. My 50th birthday is Friday, June the 9th. I will be 50 goddamn years old. A third of the way through my life. A third of the way. And not doing a show Friday night. However, we will be doing a show like the old late night alternative time, 10 o'clock on a Thursday till 1 a.m. on the Friday. So you're going to get the birthday, you're going to get the birthday crossover. So what you're going to get the birthday crossover. And speaking of birthday crossovers, it's my friend and yours. She's an absolute bell cheese. Catherine Boyle.
Yo. Happy nearly birthday. Not quite your birthday yet.
We might be able to hear you. I haven't got my headphones on. Hello?
Pay attention,
I can't
please.
hear you.
Oh, mate.
Stick that up your jacksy.
Put it in your jack.
Stick that up your jacksy. Hello?
Hello. Happy nearly birthday, matey.
She's in. Welcome to the show. Lots to talk about. So, we're doing a show tonight.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, that dono bar is getting caned. The dono bar is getting caned. Now, we've got it there at £500. I'm just going to update that a little bit. right?
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
going to update it a little bit. So we just go into Stream Elements here.
You're not going to get cheeky now, are you?
No, me no cheeky boy. I like it when you go to Stream Elements. There's a picture of the most ripped man you've ever seen. It looks like Wolf, the Wolf from Gladiators. I used to love that guy. Remember
Gladiators.
Roger Cook did a thing on him. Oh, Catherine, your internet is pony.
Right? No, it isn't. So what I'm going to do is
tell me when I say the number 7. 7.
So you just said it.
Okay, we're in. It did glitch for a little bit there.
Yeah, it's because I just put my I've just gone to Twitch. So I was just messing about on my computer.
Okay, all right.
Everyone call out.
Overlays. We want overlays. We're going to go here. So I'm just going to update it a little bit because it is my birthday.
Yeah, and you're entitled.
And you guys are feeling generous, right? You guys. So what we're going to do. There we go. Does that come through? We've changed it to £60,000.
Oh my God.
And I think this is realistic. I've been thinking about this a lot. I would like a new extension. Richard's on my side. I would like a new extension, and it's been costed at £60,000. I don't got £60,000. I don't got it. But tonight and tomorrow night, I think I might get it. And here's the thing. If you're hesitant about chucking in 10 grand, Catherine won't get a penny of this. Oh, her birthday's coming up in August. Oh, we'll do a Catherine birthday donor then. She don't get a penny of this 60 grand.
Well, I don't see why I should try then.
Well, you have to try because we'll do your thing in August the 12th.
Okay, you say this.
Got a birthday, right. She wasn't expecting that.
I'm never expecting that.
60 grand. David Turner says, don't let them charge you for CAD plans when it's literally the only thing I can help people with. But I don't know. You mean Alan Caddick plans? Is that what you're talking about? Jason says, I saw someone win £80,000 in 3 minutes on Twitch last night, gambling. Maybe we gamble. Maybe we get to 60 grand and we go red or black. Wheat says, I'll wait until August to donate. Mods, time Wheat's 5477 out, please. £60,000. Excuse me. So a lot has happened.
Yeah.
A big thing that's happened today is I have taken delivery of a gazebo. And I've been struggling to remember that word for a long time.
Yes. What did you call it the other day? A pardum. Yes.
Hang on a minute. Why do I keep... It's that bloody mirror keeps sending me out of focus. I can't be bothered to get a towel, but I will do. I will do that.
It's your feng shui.
I had a gazebo and I've had a hot tub delivered. And the hot tub, I filled it up with too much water, so I've had to kind of tilt it. And it's heating up because I want to use it tomorrow afternoon. It takes 24 hours to heat up. But the thing is, it's like an inflatable one, and the lid is not solid. It's a soft lid. And I'm worried, not making jokes about this, I'm worried my cats are going to fall in it and drown.
Yeah.
So 2 of them are in and 2 of them are out. Because I'm trying to keep them in. By the way, can we get the donate link in the chat? Because slow start. A pound. Who's donated a pound? Who's donated a pound? Let's see. It hasn't come up. You'll have to donate it again. Sorry, it hasn't. Honestly, it hasn't come up. Shit. No swearing. It hasn't come up. Anonymous thing, and also I think you missed off 3 zeros. So I'm worried, genuinely worried, that the cats are going to fall in the hot tub.
Well, so, I mean, and that's justified because Willow has been in our paddling pool a couple of times.
Dazzy says the soft top is locked at all sides to the blow-up tub. Yeah, but there's still gaps.
They could slide through the gaps.
Yeah. Always New Depths is bang on here. Come on, guys. With the current 125 viewership, it's only £480 each. You call yourself fans for shame.
Yeah.
Absolutely bob on there, my friend. Absolutely bob on. So I have a hot tub in my garden. It takes 24 hours to heat up. I've just got to text someone who's been getting right on my nerves. I'm just going to text her, okay, because I'm not really getting...
Oh, I know exactly who that is.
All right, okay. We'll talk about that in a bit. So it's my birthday week. I am Jenk says you can pull the straps tight. It's cat-proof if it's the same as mine. It looks like it's got a wooden effect, Jenks. It's got a wooden effect. Well, is that what we're talking about? Because I will go and pull those flaps tight.
The wood effect, is that like a wooden bowl into which the inflatable is sunken?
That is the inflatable.
Is it?
That is the great wood effect, right?
Mm.
So Jenks, thank you for that. Andy then says it's wood. What? So, 50th birthday on Friday. So we're doing a show tonight. We're going to be doing a show tomorrow night, 10 till 1. The old late night alternative time slot. Gene Simmons was in Parliament today. Did you know this?
Why?
He said it was like organised chaos. You talk. I'm going to tweet that we are live.
Why was Gene Simmons anywhere near the seat of power? Should not be near anybody's seat, especially not a power one. Although I am looking forward to seeing him next month. I'm so torn because on one hand and on the other. So there you go. There's an illustration.
Hang on a minute. Sorry.
What?
See, people are really getting on my nerves today. Just hold the line. Now I've got to make a phone call. There's my glasses. Sorry, guys. I've just got to make a phone call for someone.
Who is it this time?
I guess just everybody. Why is everyone? Oh, here we go. Christian Wakeford says, MP. Earlier today, I joined several MPs from across the House in meeting Gene Simmons from KISS. As a huge heavy metal fan, I took the opportunity to have
heavy metal.
I have since been made aware of his political views and comments towards Muslims. Now I know this. I wish to disassociate myself from those views he's expressed and apologise for any harm or offence caused by having a picture with him.
Yowza.
What has he said about Muslim? I mean, he's a thoroughly obnoxious person. MPM 10176 has tipped £10. Thank you. Just joined, still getting used to it, but followed you from the other media. Cheers, guys. Thank you. So tomorrow, Catherine, we're doing the old late night alternative time slot.
So it would appear.
I'm excited about that. You'll be doing it from there. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about it. It's that for me is the best time slot. Certainly to be doing a radio show. When we started on Twitch, we did that time slot, didn't we?
Yeah, it works for us. It's our time.
It is our time. I often, we'll talk about Patreon in a bit. We'll get a lot of people saying, oh, it's great. You didn't know you were still doing shows. We do 2 shows pretty much every single week.
Yeah.
Marcus is Mark. I never know how to say your name. Marcusistic. Oh, is that meant like narcissistic? Marcusistic, tip £5. Happy birthday in Kiss Kiss.
Ah, that's kind.
Matty Steve, lovely to see you. Great birthday to you, Lane. Great birthday to you, Lane, indeed.
Lane.
I'm going to have to get a ready meal in there. I'm absolutely starving. I'm not eating all
I've
day.
had a Thai-style green curry.
I'll be having some crap from Tesco, some ready meal crap.
That's what I've had, yeah.
But I've every now and then with the Patreons, and we'll talk about Patreon in a bit. Actually, we'll talk about it now. I've got a couple of things I want to talk about. Patreon is where we do 2 shows a week pretty much. If you go to patreon.com/Iain and Catherine, it's a really great way to support us because for $4.99 plus VAT, you get 2 shows a week to watch. They then get converted to podcasts. And you then can have access to like 2,000 hours worth of shows. So the link is in the chat. If you're listening to the podcast, this whole show will go out for free. Patreon.com/Iain and Catherine, IAIN and Catherine with a K. It's a huge part of our income. And we had quite a big upturn this month. We've lost. And then this month, big upturn. And often on the Patreon, I ask for feedback. What would you like to see in the shows? What would you like to what is working? What isn't working? I have feedback from someone.
Oh, goody!
No, that's useful, and I genuinely mean it. You know, what would you guys like to get for your money? And I think can I play this, David? I don't think you say anything racist. Here we go.
Send a voice note because I think it's better ideas for the show or whatever, it feels like it needs a...
This is David Turner's, right? And this is genuinely great because he is one of my favourite podcasters after James, Matt, Sean. Then we go to the Nothing Is Real Beatles podcast. Then we go to the crap American Beatles podcast. Then we go to the Beach Boys podcasts. Then there's
Clinton Baptiste podcast.
Clinton Baptiste is kind of going down. And then there's David. Mm-hmm. But also, he gives feedback, like constructive criticism. You ready for it?
Always.
To freshen up or whatever, let me know. And I was going to send a long email, but they always say, I don't know, you always get it wrong end of stick. Anyway, this week's Friday show was fucking popping.
Friday show was fucking popping. I don't quite remember what we did on Friday show. I think.
Well, I know that we couldn't publish vast swathes of it.
Why not?
Because
the music.
Things were discussed.
Things were discussed. And also, one of the things, apologies for that swear, I'm going to do my darndest from now on to not swear in the podcast because I want families to be able to listen to it. So I'm going to do my darndest, okay?
When you were just relaying a story about something...
Oh, hang on. Oh, it does this.
About something that happened...
Oh, for goodness sakes, my phone is on its way out. Hang on, we'll get back. Don't worry, guys, we'll get back to it. Notice I didn't swear then.
That happened in a week and then really grinding down.
Honestly, this is right.
Right, he likes the grinding.
The details of your full process.
So basically, he says he likes it when we tell stories about what's happening in our week. And here's the thing, not a lot happens. I had to have a week off for something to happen in my week. Oh, Nothing Is Real is coming to a stage near you. I'm in. Okay.
All that sort of stuff and reflecting on the story. That was...
By the way, I'm not playing this. This is genuinely great feedback. This is not me playing this to go, "Ah!" This is genuinely really good
There's
feedback.
no mockery involved.
No.
Although it's
Colin
hard
mockery.
to think, like, that stuff has to come naturally, right? You can't just, like, force a story out, I guess. I don't know. The watch-along stuff is really tough because as a podcast listener, for the most part, you feel like you're missing out on it.
Yeah. And I think personally, I don't know if you, Catherine, and you've not heard this, I'm kind of throwing this on you. I'd like to go, I've got out of focus. I'd like to go back to it being a bit more podcasty, radio-y. Mm-hmm. I like watching the stuff. Well, let's listen to a bit more.
But then when you're watching live or watching the VOD, then it's some of the best bits. So it's...
Oh, okay. Well, I missed that bit. So when you're watching live, it's good. And so I'm wondering, we do 2 shows a week? And literally, Catherine has not heard this, and I'm kind of kicking ideas around as we listen to it now. Whoa. Max is back. Max H131313, tip £50.
Max.
Tell folks I will match contributions up to £50. You can have the £50, but let's get others moving. I don't know what that means, Max, but what it means is you're my favourite person this evening. And I'm wondering, Catherine, because I've been thinking for ages, it would be nice to do another show where the camera's off. Because I think that makes a totally different show. And I think maybe... Thank you, Max. That is incredibly generous. Thank you. And I think... Go on. What are you going to say?
Alternatively...
Something's popped up.
We do it in 2 parts.
Okay, go on.
So one part is visual and we can do watch-alongs and stuff for the people who are here live. And the other part is purely audio. And we lift that for the podcast.
I think some people... Richard says... God, I'm so hungry. I tend to watch rather than listen, so I like the watch along. Maybe we could find out how many people listen rather than watch. I have no idea how many people listen to the Patreon podcast. I don't know if that data is available. I don't know. But I know that the viewing, we're lucky if we nudge 80 live, and the videos when they're up, we tend to get about 350, 450 views when they're not listed publicly. Your idea, my first hearing sounds a bit complicated, but that's my initial knee-jerk reaction. I haven't processed it.
It's really simple.
You can feed it. Any feedback in the chat, genuinely, What a way to start the show going. We don't know how to do the show anymore. Any feedback in the chat? First thought, does doing one show as a radio, one show as a
No.
more visual?
No. Half and half.
No. I'm putting forward. That's my suggestion. So I'm putting them forward. Does doing it one show radio, one show as a visual make sense? Or does it make more sense to have the first 90 minutes is radio, the second 90 minutes is visual? I don't know. Oh, Nellie's not very helpful. It's about finding the balance. Bit of each will be the way. We're looking at how to get that bit of each.
Yeah.
Matty
the thing
says
is, at the moment, I lift all the audio, regardless of whether it's been mostly visual or not.
She's telling you off, Nelly.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
Matty says, I think Iain should do half the show naked. Matty, are you drunk? Cartoon Mind says, as a third option, what if you split the stream into segments and just cut out the visual portion? Nelly says, where am I from? Sorry. Alistair says, what are we talking about? Richard says, makes more sense first 90 radio, second 90 visual. Anyway, right. So let's carry on with this because there's more.
Yeah, I don't know how you handle that for the podcast listener. Are there more people downloading the pod than there are watching
This thing.
the VOD?
We don't know. We don't
He's
have
thinking
those
out
stats.
loud.
Then David says the worry is lack of continuity, right? You might continue stories on the video show you started on the audio show. Do you mean if you split it in half? Rob says, I've been offered a ticket for Summertime Ball this weekend. Is it a good day? Oh my God, it's an amazing day. We'll talk about that in a minute because I know someone else who's going. You have to go, Rob. Let's carry on with this.
The VOD and is there more people listening to audio than there are watching it? What's the ratio? Do you know the ratio? Also, I know this is really tough, but I really miss the interviews.
Hang on, Max. Are you saying if people donate £50, you'll match it? What if 100 people donate? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying, here's the £50 and I will? That's me matching a fictional £50 that, what are you saying, you lunatic? Here we go.
When you used to get people on and interview them. But it's behind a paywall, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's kind of harder to do, right? You trying to...
Hang on. Max is saying yes. So hang on.
Yes to what?
Are you saying if 10 people give £50, you'll give 500? Is that what you're saying? You're like that other guy that used to do that who was actually insane. No names, no pack drill. Max is saying no. Max, so it's the £150. All right, good. Thank you. I sound ungrateful. I'm not ungrateful. Thank you. Everyone match Max. We're playing Match Max 3 Beyond the Thunderdome. Let's carry on.
Convince someone to come on and it's behind a paywall, I think it's harder to do. But I'd love to hear some more interviews again. Because I love it when you and Catherine get a guest on and the conversation just spirals out of control. That's really cool. But other than that, I don't know, man. I'm still, I'm loving it. Friday's show was...
All right, man. I don't need to be a bum leg. Interviews is a good idea. I've held off asking people because we get an audience of 80 people. However, it can be sold as we then upload it as a separate free podcast and a separate
it's always
free
there.
clip.
Yeah.
So maybe that is something to do. Dean says get the 3CR team back. We kind of did that the other day spontaneously, didn't we?
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get myself pre-birthday curry.
Are you?
Live on the stream tonight. No, I'm not. Actually, I should probably just get a ready meal from the fridge. So I think that's really, really good feedback. And I think it is worth thinking about a portion of the show being radio. I would like next week to do one show completely without a camera. I've been thinking about that for ages. I think it's a completely different vibe. We'll do it behind the paywall. And I would be totally up for doing that. And having a think, if anybody else has any feedback, constructive suggestions, you can latenightalternative@gmail.com, latenightalternative@gmail.com. You can message us here, or you can, if you're a Patreon, you can send us direct messages. We don't always reply to the direct messages, but we do read every single one and we talk about them, or you can reply in one of the comments things. So thank you, David, for starting a fun conversation. Capital Summertime Ball, Catherine, talk.
Well, I really fancied that. And of course, you can only win tickets these days because they're all sold out.
Yours.
Except, I don't know, maybe if you work for them, I don't know, if you worked, for example, for Global, or if you'd just been given a job working into the main feeder school for Global's workforce, I don't know. Perhaps maybe at some point this week you would have got an email saying, by the way, does anyone fancy some tickets to the Capital Summertime Ball? And I would think, wow, you could score some serious mum points there if you could just get like 3.
Well, if those of you watching us last week would have seen the email come in live, and it was offering 2, and I said, "Oh, you got to reply to that now and ask
It
for
did say
3."
any other quantities, and I'd say 3. You know,
Yeah.
it's
And you got the 3 tickets, so you're going on. What a weekend! You got my birthday party on the Saturday, the Capital Summertime Ball, which I went to, and also you'll have good tickets. You're going to be in the global bit, which is where
we're
I
with the
was last
global
time.
people, man. We're with the industry partners. I'm with some of my future students.
I went last year with my boys. It was the most amazing day, absolutely incredible day. So you're going to love it. The girls must be over the moon, right?
Yeah, they're thrilled to bits. So yesterday we went to see 6 in Peterborough. That was the closest we could get to see it. It came to Milton Keynes, which is fairly near where we are last year, around December time, and we couldn't get tickets for it, at least not together. So I said, right, well, let's have a look around. And so we booked this months and months ago, and we've been looking forward to it ever since. It was so good. The girls really, 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 really enjoyed it. But you've got to remember, these are kids that grew up on horrible histories. So it's totally their ballpark. So we went to see that. That was great. I hadn't mentioned that I had these tickets as a possibility because although I'd been promised them, you know, unless they're in my inbox, I don't believe it, and I didn't want to have to explain to them, oh, it can't go because didn't get enough or whatever. So I waited till today, and yeah, they came through for us. I'm thrilled to bits. I'm so thrilled to bits because, you know, it's been a very meager couple of years for us. Our belt have been very tightened, and people say, oh, why didn't you do this? Why did you do that with the kids? You think, well, because we can't really afford to spend that amount of money on stuff when we don't know how much the electricity is going to cost or whatever. So it feels like, I don't know, it feels like things are starting to open up for us again. And we can do things as mum and daughters that we haven't been able to think about for a long time. I remember buying those tickets for 6 last year thinking, this is very expensive, but, you know, it's months and months away.
Take sun cream. I'd take some kind of cover as well because you're out in the sun. Matty is drunk tonight. Do you know who's playing this year? Because last year we had Ed Sheeran, Harry Styles, H.
Lewis Capaldi is not well enough, so he's taken everything out of his schedule until Glastonbury.
Yes.
So we have got Jonas Brothers.
Oh.
We have got...
We can't hear.
The Waffle House.
The Waffle House is being sung in the corner. Calvin Harris, who Littleton is not a massive fan of since his dalliance with Taylor Swift.
His dalliance?
Yes, they went out together, didn't they?
Do you mean a dalliance?
Dalliance. I was being romantic.
Evening day.
Well, and who else is Anne Marie? You like her, right? You said she's a good performer.
Anne Marie's great. She stole the show. She was one of the show stealers last year because in the middle of the song she made herself go cross-eyed.
Nice. Niall Horan.
Okay. Yep.
Jess Glynn.
Yep.
There's some really good. I mean, it's not massively my thing, but the girls love those people, mate, and we like Capital Radio, so we're gonna have a laugh.
Best time ever.
Yeah, and it's a very nice way to meet some of my future students and colleagues because we've got like an away day towards the end of the month, but I'll meet them in a sort of semi-informal environment. It's really cool. I'm just really chuffed because when I started working there, I did think, oh, it would be really cool if I could get the girls to the Jingle Bell Ball because I don't think, I've not even started working there yet. The summertime ball is completely out of the question. Guess what? Beautiful. We're going.
What an amazing company that they treat, with no disrespect, you are quite far down the global chain. Yeah, it's got all these massive radio stations. So you've got all of the heads of the stations. You've got all of the presenters. You've got all the producers. And how amazing that they include you and the other teachers in that package. That's great.
The impression I get is that this academy that I'm going to be working for is their baby, right? So it's completely the brainchild of the guy that set up Global. It's the thing that he wished he'd had when he was coming through into radio. And so we're important to them, and they want to make us feel important to them. I'm really excited. I'm always waiting for the custard pie. Nothing can ever be perfect, but so far it feels good. I'm really looking forward to it. Most of all, I am so chuffed that now I have a plan. There is an upward trajectory again, and I've got something to aim for. So anything else is a bonus, and this is a pretty good bonus.
It's a very good bonus.
Yeah.
The way we are distributing our money between us has kind of settled again. It was all, you weren't working for months, and I was working, so it was all.
Well, this was my work. This was my income.
Yeah, sorry, I keep putting this down, but which was financially not great for either of us, because that meant we were both kind of not. But we can split the money again, which is fantastic. Makes my life a whole lot better. And
in fact, you know what, the balance will shift the other way into your favor for a bit, because it's the way we work. We're a partnership, and that's the way it's always been, and that's the way it will always be.
Nothing there. So yeah, it's good. There is a time, and I was telling you this, I'm going to share this because we share a lot of stuff here, and I find it interesting anyway. There is a tiny part of me that is jealous, right? But it's not in any way. It's really hard to explain, and I'm going to struggle. And some of you might think I sound like an a-hole, right? Because it's a reminder to me. This is going to sound weird, that I'm not famous anymore. Because I managed to get tickets last year because I messaged James O'Brien and he managed to sort me some out. And it's more of a reminder that, I'm not famous anymore, and I haven't been for a while. And even though it was very damaging to me, the fame, I actually quite enjoyed it as well. And maybe it's kind of the turning 50 thing as well. I feel a little bit. And, you are for the first time ever earning more money than me, which is great. And I don't want it to sound like I'm resentful. I'm not at all. I'm feeling a little bit, I'm not famous anymore, and I'm not earning the tens of thousands of pounds that I used to earn when I was on the telly. And I just feel a little bit, which is nothing to do with you. This is all me and my insecurity.
But this is similar to how I felt when you set up your business as a therapist. I was thinking, he can do this under his own steam. He doesn't need me anymore. What am I now? What am I now?
Yeah.
I'm someone who he is, in my darkest moments, I thought I'm someone he's dragging along because he feels sorry for me.
Wow. Okay.
I don't like not being financially independent.
Yeah.
I do feel, especially as a woman, that if you are not financially independent, you are very, very vulnerable. And I don't ever want to hitch up to someone else and have that power taken away from me. I need it. I'm someone's mum. I'm responsible for 2 young women, and apart from anything else, I want to show them an example, right? And the example has never been reliant on anybody else. I was the successful daughter my parents were proud of. I had a great job and I'd earned it, and all of a sudden, what am I? The thing is, we set so much store in what we do for a living. We set so much store in that. But I also think that financial independence is something else, and especially for me, now I'm a separated mum. I really want to be able to show the girls that I can do this. And for a while I did think, Catherine, what have you done? You've blown your life up. And it looks like it's all come crumbling down. No, it hasn't actually. What I was doing was starting something different. And thank you for supporting me at a point to get my feet back underneath myself again. But there were times when I wondered whether I'd ever get that balance again.
Just want to acknowledge NPM donated £10. Thank you, and says I'm on benefits after being a teacher. By the way, the £60,000 is a joke, right? You guys know that. This is the last time I'm going to say it's a joke. So I really want you to donate up to £60,000 to get me an extension. Well, the one thing we always say is, please, 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 dear listener, never give more than you can. Never make yourself financially uncomfortable by signing up to the Patreon or donating. So please, 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 please.
Yeah, we don't want you to feel pressured.
And it's weird because you're my best friend. I completely love you. And there's still that part of me when you got the tickets went, I'm not that famous guy that used to get free stuff anymore. And that's on me. And it's really interesting hearing what you've just said then, because we've not had that conversation. And it shows just where money, where jobs, lack of jobs, where that kind of mindset can take you. It can make you think crazy things.
Yeah, listen, we grew up at peak Tory time, where if you are not contributing, you're not worthy, you're not valid, you're not someone who is that stuff seeps in. Both you and I know that money isn't all what it's all about, right? Both you and I are taking steps now to make sure that we are putting something positive into the universe, and that is the most important thing. But there is a huge amount of self-esteem wrapped up in being able to say, I do this for a living. And I've always been so proud of my job. And I was always so proud of what we achieved because we managed to combine the two, right? I felt like for the most part, we made mistakes, but for the most part, what we were putting out there into the ether was positive and helped. So I'm looking forward to starting doing that again and to be able to help you build stuff now. You've helped me. It's my turn to help you out. And again, I know that can be embarrassing. It shouldn't be, but I felt embarrassed about it. But I don't want you to feel embarrassed because I owe you one.
I do. Thank you, MPM. No, I do. And this is the first time in I think about 5 or 6 months that we have split the money. So it's all gone to Catherine. And I'm not. You've shared that before, so I'm not breaking any confidence. And, the last 5 or 6 months for me have been tight because I'm working as a counsellor. But by the very nature of the work, people cancel. I've got a big old gap coming up in July and August, partly because I'm away, but then everyone else is away. So each month, my savings have been... So getting the split this month, it's like, oh my God, I'm still not rich, but I got a little bit more money than I have done. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Iain says, are you not doing voiceover work? I haven't had a job for ages. I'm doing bits and pieces. I'm doing 4 extra on July the 5th. I'm going to be a talking head on this Gary Glitter thing.
The bottom kind of fell out of the voiceover industry quite a while ago, didn't it?
Unless your name is Dermot O'Leary.
Or unless you've been, it goes through phases. All of a sudden, it's people who've been on TV all the time, right? So they'll get a famous voice. They'll get someone from Love Island to do something. It will only last 6 months or so, but they will get the jobs, right? And in fact, you know what? The music DJ roles go to those people too.
The music DJ.
All yeah, right. I'm saying rather than a talk style presenter.
Richard says, back to suggestions. Maybe you should change the name of the Twitch stream to Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle so that people notice the name, as TLNA is no longer a radio show. What do you mean? How would I do that? I'm not going to change the twitch.tv/ because that's a pain in the arse. And I've still got twitch.tv/ Iain Lee up my sleeve. Still got that. What do you mean change? What do you mean change the name of the Twitch stream? I don't understand what that means. I was supposed to be German. It sounded Indian, so I stopped it immediately. Iain says, after being out of work for 3 years owing to being a carer, and now after completing my degree, I'm considering applying for a systems engineer role with BAE Systems, although I've got that nagging doubt if I'm good enough anymore. The old imposter syndrome. MPM says, I don't know what TLNA stands for. No, the late night alternative, and people won't. It's Dan Gatford, thank you for the sub. I don't want a show. I don't need a show. Oh, Christ, I've got one somewhere. It's Dan says, the way you both work as a team is exemplified look at you with your words, in the community around your shows. All the regular folk get as much from the shows as you do monetarily from us, as well as the regular folk being lovely people. The regular folk. I want to get a T-shirt made up saying the regular folk. Richard says, no worries, I'll look up how to do it and show you in a DM. That will be easier than me explaining it. Thank you very much. It's birthday week. Erin's, thank you for the sub. It's 37 months, Erin's. It's birthday week. I am 50 on Friday. We're doing a free show tonight. We're doing a free show tomorrow night, 10 till 1. And we really want to get up to that target in the next 2 nights of £60,000. Gatford says, can I ban? Oh, it's Dan for being so nice. No, Paul's is in the house. Really want to get that up to £60,000. I really want to get an extension belt on the back of my house. So
I had a mail shot the other day saying important news about your conservatory. I was thinking,
Oh, yeah.
You're not joking. You're not joking. I haven't seen it forever.
Am I a little bit quieter than Catherine on my on the meter? The meter, I'm a little bit lower. Trig says, Iain, I still download you old podcast late night show on ABS. Enjoyed every show. Absolute. I am slightly quieter. I wonder why that is. I'm going to, actually, I can do it here. Look, I can move.
I can turn my
No. You're good. You're good. Go on. Say something. Your normal.
Yes. Now.
Okay. There we go. We're back. We're back in the hood. I'm going to go and put something in the microwave because I'm starving. Is that all right, kid?
Yeah.
Then we'll talk about cats. We'll talk about Brian May. We've got a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. So what can I tell you? Oh, yeah. So 6 last night. We went to Peterborough. It took us about an hour to get there and parked up. Cost me £2.20 for all night. Beautiful. We walked over there. We had a little McDonald's. Centre of Peterborough was absolutely dead. Now, I used to work in Peterborough. That was where I got my first job. My first job was at what was Hereward FM in Peterborough, which is now Heart. And I spent 9 months there working in a radio station that was part of the Queensgate Centre there. So we used to be able to look out of the window and see, I think it was Borges Boulevard, which is important because that's what we used when we made up the travel. I'm not even joking. So sometimes the travel news wouldn't get in, or it wouldn't be specific to Peterborough. We would say, usual weight of traffic on Borges Boulevard, because we'd looked out the window. Or we used to mention, careful around the Dog and the Doublet pub roundabout, because, of course, you know what that's like. I mean, it's not telling you anything, but it sounded like we knew the patch that we were on. So it was nice to be there. We went past Oundle, Jim. Did we? Or I certainly know of Oundle. Anyway, it was nice to be back there, but the centre of Peterborough was absolutely dead. And then we went to 6 and it was full of the girls, the gays and the days. You know you're in for a good time when it's full of that crowd.
I remember the advert, The Peterborough Effect, starring Roy Kinnear. And a friend.
His name was Peterborough, wasn't it, in that case?
No.
Oh, right. It was based in the place.
Vikings, isn't it? The Peterborough Effect. So how far away is Pete? I thought it was like 100 miles away.
No, it's not. It's about an hour from me. It's just sort of Cambridge way. I enjoyed living. Well, did I enjoy living there? That was my first job, and I had a little maisonette in a place called Werrington. And I was renting, and I got stuck in there once because the front door stuck. I had to ring my colleagues at work to get them to bust out. It was like a reverse enormous turnip. They had to pull on the door so I could get out. And it was one of those scenarios. After being at university for all that time, I suddenly realised what it was like to go somewhere new, go to work, go home, and not know anyone apart from the people you worked with, and this was like kind of at the beginning part of the internet, and so didn't know how you're going to meet someone as a grown-up when you've not got anything in common. You know, it's not like I had a dog to walk or a baby to take to a playgroup or anything like that. How do you meet new friends when you're 20 something in a new place? So I didn't really, and that was 9 months that I lived there, and it was great. And I learned loads working at that radio station, because it was a real kind of, right, now you are in charge of the radio station, we're all going out. I was doing bulletins for about 4 different radio stations. I had to have my timing spot on. I learned to be an absolute radio machine. And then I went to work for the BBC, and I went, what is this? They're paying me twice as much, and I have to do a third of the work. This is incredible. And that's why I ended up staying there for 20 odd years.
Twitch King 1979. Hey, Ian, happy birthday for Friday. Are you still having your barbecue? Yes. I've got a gazebo in my house. Oh, we've got a special guest coming.
Oh.
No, you don't know about this.
Is it stripper?
No.
Damn it.
I tell you what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, all right, we have got one of the stars. This is not even an exaggeration. It's not even a lie. from Star Wars coming to my party. And it's not even a lie. It's not a joke. It's an actual thing. One of the stars from Star Wars is coming to my party, and it's not a gag.
Not my birthday. It can't be Harrison Ford.
No, it's not a gag. Question, what chair have you got? I need a gaming chair. I can't remember. Someone will remind me. It says
It's a Noble.
Noble, because it says knob. That's it. I know it says something rude. Trig says, I like how you go to the microwave and bring back crisps. I bought so many crisps for the party. I have put something in the microwave. Here's how I roll. Microwave meals, cook for 3 minutes, stir, cover, cook for 3 minutes. I don't do that. I cook it for 6 minutes. Who's doing the stirring? Is it
not like welded to the side of the pot by the time you pull it out?
Oh, it's Dan said, is it a pedal bin that looks like R2? You look like R2D2 in a minute. Is it Warwick Davis, an actual star, or like third Java from the left? Jawa. People think I'm joking. I'm not joking.
I contemplated, because I had a Princess Leia outfit, I contemplated dressing one of my babies up as a Jawa once. Would have been a great outfit. Just never had the occasion to do it.
We finally... Cats are going crazy. I'll explain that in a bit. Big boy, okay. We finally finished. There's so much to talk about. We will talk about the show on Sunday, Dave, and we'll get you on. But we finally finished Married at First Sight before the... No. 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 Days season 4. We finished it. And as soon as it finished, I said to Catherine, I am never watching another one of those ever again, because it was completely addictive, and it totally consumed my life, and I'm a worse person for watching it. So we're never watching another one of those. And I don't think necessarily the bad guys that got their comeuppance, that horrible, they're all horrible, so let me take that word out. That young YouTuber who clearly wasn't bisexual, she was one of the meanest, and didn't get her comeuppance. And her poor partner, who had been delightful, was never allowed to speak.
No, she was embarrassed in front of everyone.
Yeah, both Usman and Baby Love were...
Baby Love Lisa.
They were both quite unpleasant, actually. So they're not.
But Usman was kind of charming with it, so I think we gave him probably more leeway than we should have.
Yeah. But it was... I enjoyed it, but I can't watch it again. There are so many different... there's like 6 seasons of before 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days.
You know, Big Ed Tries Again, right?
Yeah, that's what put me off, because we saw the still for season 5, and it's Usman with another woman. I thought, oh, right, okay, all right. The popular ones come back, and it's all bullshit.
I suppose it does make it worthwhile not working, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's like that weird English guy. What's his name? Tony or Nick or something? Tom.
The guy from Nottingham who, whenever he got kind of emotional, he started to go a little bit more Nottingham-y.
Well, Darcy, the thing is, you don't let me speak my truth, Darcy, and you're a fat cow, Darcy. You're good.
Yeah,
good.
That was
Goodbye.
mean.
Goodbye, you fat cow. And then he writes a letter that's supposed to be apologising, but it's him going, you don't let me speak my truth, you fat cow. That's what the letter pretty much was.
That being said... And I know that is, that's not a way to move on. But in the actual, after the 90 days or whatever it was called, where they did the get together by Zoom, which I didn't fancy at all, but actually ended up being hilarious. He was so funny.
The host on that was terrible because it all kept kicking off.
She just let them have a go at each other, didn't she?
Don't forget, guys, let's get that donate link. My 50th birthday this week. I would love to get an extension on the house. It's going to cost £60,000. So we were at 6.6. Let's just get it up. Let's see if we can make £30,000 tonight. That gets.
Would you give me 1,000 if you make 30?
No, mate. I will let you sleep in the extension for one night. We'll do the same thing on August the 12th when it's your birthday.
Too late by then. I'll already be in the workhouse.
So we finished watching that, And I don't really have anything else to watch at the moment. I finished I Think You Should Leave, which is great. Oh, did you see?
Oh, I started watching The Idol with Johnny Depp's daughter, Lily
Oh, go
Rose
on,
Depp.
go on. I'm going to eat crisps.
All right, Lily Rose Depp, daughter of Johnny Depp and Vanessa Paradis. So the ultimate Nepo baby. But that kid can act. She is so good.
Where were you when you found out Vanessa Paradis had died?
What?
Where were you when you found out Vanessa Paradis had died?
She's not dead.
Well, you say that. I was in Canada. Either just before or just after. She isn't dead, don't worry. I know my microwave pinged. I'm just letting it cool down. It was either just before or just after I was kissed. What's her name? Not Charlotte Church. These pills make me forget words like I knew they would.
Angelina Jolie. I mean, as
Kiss
if
me.
I don't know how you managed to wedge that story in here when I'm talking about Vanessa Paradis.
I was in Canada.
She's got a French surname. That's
I was
it.
in Canada, being directed by Martin Campbell. Go and look him up. He directed GoldenEye. And
GoldenEye.
The word went round the set. Oh my God! Someone went, "Oh my God!" This is before the phone, the smartphones. Oh my God! Have you heard the news? Vanessa Paradis has died. And Martin Campbell, the director of GoldenEye and the director of this movie, knew her, and everyone was devastated. And it's like, we're gonna. Well, he knew her because she died, and it was like, we're going to stop for an hour. All right, guys, we're calling the break because Vanessa Paradis had died. So I was in Canada when I found out Vanessa Paradis had died, probably about 2001.
When did they find out that she hadn't? 10 minutes later?
We didn't have the internet then, Catherine. We didn't have the internet.
Oh, yeah, it's the olden days, wasn't it?
When
When no one could check if anyone had been kissed or not.
When did you find out that Paul Weller had died in a crash while he was driving a Mini? Do you remember that one?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It wasn't that long ago, was it?
You carry on talking.
Actually, I was hoping you'd go on talking because I really want a wee. So,
all right.
Why don't you do a mukbang while I go for a McWee?
Right. So it has been. You go ahead. I'll talk about not Oscar, Dennis. It has been really stressful week for cats. As you know, I'm a cat guy. I had 5. Then we lost my beautiful boy George, yeah. And then there's been a cat that's been wandering around, beautiful little black and white thing, which I've called Dennis. Very, very friendly, very tame. Had some big old balls, and I couldn't work out. I don't think he's that old. He's quite small, but I couldn't work out why he was tame, and yet obviously hadn't been done. I couldn't quite get the chronology in my head of what was going on. Anyway, working with the Cats Protection, they gave me a cat trap, and the plan was to catch him. The plan was to catch him a couple of months ago, and then George died, and I just said, I can't deal with it now. Can't deal with it. Dennis has been coming around regularly. And I spoke to Cats Protection. I said, I'm ready to do it. So they booked in a vet's appointment for today. And we managed to catch him yesterday. I got a big old bear trap there from one of the next door neighbours, which I can't be bothered to show because it's massive. Big old bear trap from one of the next door neighbours. And, he'd been turning up every day. And, of course, yesterday he didn't rock up until quite a bit later. And I went round, you go and sit in Betty's garden. I went round in Betty's garden with the bear trap, put some food in. He just walked in there. Boom. Got him. And he stayed in that trap in my living room last night with some food and some litter tray. And he knew straight away he went to the litter tray. So he's clearly domesticated. Anyway, I had to take him to the vets today 8:30, and they were going to make sure he didn't have a chip. If he had a chip, there's nothing we could do. Derelict says, how do you know he isn't someone's pet? He didn't have a chip, and he hasn't been dumb. No, the bear trap's going away, Dave. So he didn't have a chip. So they said, all right. And he was booked in, and Cats Protection were paying for it to be neutered, to have blood tests, to get all of his jabs and dewormed and defleed and all of that stuff. So that was that. And I got a phone call from the vets. It was 20 to 2. I was in Windsor. I just ordered a coffee and a lovely sandwich. Nice little coffee bar next to Windsor Station. The Riverside Station, not the other one. Very nice. And I should have ordered the New Yorker. I tried something different. Never tried New York. And I said to her, every time I get a New Yorker, I'm going to try something different. Anyway, I got a call from the vets that I was not expecting, saying, okay, we've done his blood tests. However, he has got FIV, which is feline IV, which is what they used to call back in the day cat AIDS. And it's really, really common with strays, which is why you got to get your cats done, guys. One of the reasons you have to get your cats done is to stop unwanted kittens, but also it's to stop the spread of FIV. And I was like, oh, shoot. What? And she said, what do you want to do? And I said, what does this mean? She said, well, it means he can't. And also, right, she said, it means he will have this thing with him that could become a very serious illness. He can't live with any other cats and he can't go out. And I got really confused. And I misunderstood what she was saying because she talked about him being on a catheter and stuff. But I think it's just because he was still under. So in my head, I made it worse than it actually was. FIV is awful. In my head, I made it he kind of sort of taken a step backwards in terms of his health because he was fine when he was here. And I said, are you suggesting that he should be put down? And she said, well, you know, it's certainly one option. Cats with FIV can lead pretty crappy lives. I'm like, oh my God. She said, what do you want to do? I said, can I phone the Cats Protection and talk to them? She went, yes. Call us back as soon as you can. Happy birthday, Moomin from March. So I phoned up the woman from the Cats Protection, couldn't get through. I then messaged my lovely friends at All Done Pets, who are just the best.
They're proper cat people.
I should have gone through them for this. And I said, look, this is what the situation. And they got back a bit later, actually, after it had been sorted, saying, we know someone who could home a cat with FIV. And in the meantime, I went on Twitter, and all these people having a go at me. He hasn't got FIV. He is FIV. This woman was correcting my language. And I honestly, I felt I was so upset because I burst into tears when they told me because I was going to keep him. All right. It's obviously he was going to come and move in with me, and having him here last night, I was thinking, oh, you look good in this house. Maybe I'll keep him. And all I had was, it's 2 months since George died. So I got very upset and I was in tears on the phone to the vets and all these people on Twitter. Anyway, the vets phoned up a few minutes later and I said, and they said, we kind of need an answer soon. We can see, oh, look, that's that. Who opened the back door?
Florence, my neighbour's cat Missy is in the back garden and it's not very advisable, given that I've got 3 cats of my own.
So I said to the vets, look, can you give me half an hour? And if in half an hour I've not got a reply from the Cats Protection, then I'll get them. And then eventually the Cats Protection lady phoned up and I said, right, got some bad news. He's got FIV and the vet is suggesting that one of the options would be put him down. No. The tests that Tina Poo says, what the Tina Poo sounds like a bot.
Yeah, she does.
Sounds like a bot. And she said, no. The tests the vets do there, it's just a small blood test. They're not very accurate. No. What you need to do is you need to phone up and demand that they... No, she didn't say demand. Phone up and ask that they do a full blood test that they send off. You need to tell them you want this. And she then came up with a list of like 3 other things that I needed to ask for. And I said, right, could you phone them up? And this is what she went. She went, I'm just on my way out. And I went, could you phone them up? Yep, okay. And I said, could you give me a call back when you know what's going on? She went, yeah, bye. But anyway, I was just about to go to see my kid play cricket. Got to see him play, got to the cricket. And he said, I don't think I'm batting because I'm 10th. Doesn't matter, I don't like batting. I said, right, you're going to be bowling? He says, I don't think so. Doesn't matter, I don't like bowling. So I just spent an hour in a school field watching other kids play cricket, which was fun. So anyway.
It wasn't even the poo watchman.
She phoned up the vets. She never called me back. And I don't know kind of what was said and what happened. And I was really peed off with the way she spoke to me, right? Really, really peed off with the way she spoke to me. And it's not the first time. When I got Big Boy all those years ago, the plan was I would catch him on a Monday and take him to the vet, or I'd catch him on a Sunday and take him to the vets on a Monday. And I caught him on a Friday because I was just testing out the trap and he went straight in it because he's thick. And the vet that he was booked to go in, I phoned up and said, look, I'm booked in to bring the cat in on a Monday, but I've caught him. Is there any chance you could see him now?
This is, by the way, the worst Craig David cover I've heard for a while.
And they went, no, we're booked up until then. I went, okay, that's frustrating, but I totally get it. Thanks very much. Right? And that was it. And then I took him to a friend's vet, the friend's vet somewhere. And so and then I kept Big Boy, so we didn't need the cat's protection anymore. And when I got in touch with her a couple of months ago about Dennis, she said, oh, yeah, I remember you. Yeah. That vet you spoke to doesn't work with us anymore because of how rude you were to him. And I said, what? She said, yeah, the way you apparently got very angry with him when he couldn't see you because she kept saying, that wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan. The plan was this. And I said, all I did was phone up early to see if they had a slot and they didn't. Yeah, that wasn't the plan. I remember that phone call so well. So I thought, oh, okay. Mandy, thank you for the sub. And the whole time she's been talking to me with this, she's been so dismissive and so rude and kept saying, you need to do this. Right.
And bearing in mind you deviated from the plan last time with hilarious consequences, you know, what are you supposed to do? It's like if you defer to her, you piss her off. If you don't defer to her, you piss her off.
And I was so upset about Dennis. I really was. And I finished the call. I was very polite and I messaged Catherine saying, I'm yay close to telling her to F off. Anyway, I got a phone call from the vet a few hours later saying, he's okay. His temperature's a bit down. So we'd like to keep him in. Can you come and pick him up at 6:15? And I said, yes, I can. And I went in. Vets are so young these days. And I spoke to the vet.
I think we might be so old.
I think we are. And I spoke to the vet. And she gave me all this information. I said, can I just say, I'm really sorry if the cat's protection person has been rude to you. Because I found her really, really difficult to work with. And I found her quite rude. And the vet said, oh, I don't speak to them. They speak to reception. However, you're not the first person who said that. I was like, oh, so the vet, she's obviously rude with the people that work at the vets. And
she's trying to pin it on you.
Yeah. And Catherine and I were saying, God, if that message has been passed on to the actual vet instead of being absorbed by the person on the phone, that means this is a pretty regular thing. How dare you say the other vets doesn't want to work with cats protection because of me when it's clearly you? It really felt like vindication.
Mm-hmm. Which is, if you remember, what I suspected was going on. I went, come on.
It felt like vindication. Anyway, she's coming tomorrow at 9:00 to collect Dennis. So Dennis has got FIV. So what that means is he cannot live. He can't live with any other cats, and he has to be an indoor cat. So we can't stay here. The vet said, if you touch him, change your clothes before you touch any of the other cats. I'm like, what? And I need to get them taken in for a blood test just to make sure they're okay. I'm sure they're okay because they've been scuffles, but I've not seen any cuts. So I'm sure they're okay, but I need to get them taken in. So Dennis is next door. He's got a cone. And he's in the tent that Patty was in. Some of you will have seen the tent Patty was in. And this woman is coming to collect him tomorrow. If she says anything, I will have that conversation. It's not worth me bringing it up. I'm hoping she takes him and she goes. If she says anything, I will go there, because she has been so rude, so demanding. You must do this. And no, I don't have to do anything. I'm doing this because there's a poor cat out there that needs his balls lopped off.
Here's the thing. She quite clearly has got away with throwing her weight about for quite a long time and blaming other people. Perhaps, if done in the right way, it would be quite good for her to know that her behaviour has been noted.
When I got Velvet, 25 years ago, through Cats Protection, and the person there was so rude and so arrogant. I remember it vividly. So rude. Of course, you won't give the cat tap water. You use a filter, do you? Well, that's the same water you give to the cat. That was kind of a mild bit. And I thought it was a one-off. So then working with this woman, and then I posted on Twitter, and I didn't say which charity it was, but someone went, is it Cats Protection? Because I've dealt with them and they're a right pain. You have to have a 5-bedroom house with a 100-foot garden before they even consider letting you have a cat. So I do think, because it's the biggest cat charity, there's a little bit of the old arrogance in there.
I've got an alternate theory.
Go on. Then I'm going to get my food out of the microwave.
I think these are women who have had enough, right? So these are women who are now pensioners. And going back to what we were talking about earlier on, a lot of our self-worth is put on what we do for a living, right? So I reckon in some of these cases, these are women who had quite responsible jobs before where people would pay attention to them. And now they are sick of being treated like invisible pensioners. And so when they get a little bit of power, it really does run a long way.
Yeah.
I've seen it in charity shops. I've seen it with this. I've seen it in a number of guises. And it's kind of, it's a result of women becoming invisible when they're in their 40s, but it's also about how people work their shit out on other people rather than working out what's actually fundamentally the problem. And I do think that sometimes, it's them kicking out. So
weird. So disappointing. Anyway, Betty and I have been working together to catch Dennis, and she was quite upset when I told her about how ill he is. Anyway, he's in there. He's absolutely beautiful. He's a gorgeous little boy. He's going to get picked up tomorrow.
Here's the thing that broke both of our hearts, right?
Yeah.
He is a character. He is soft-natured. He's beautiful, right? He's beautiful. He's friendly. He's obviously been loved at some point. Unfortunately, not by someone who thought, let's take those bad boys off and we might be looking after him. I think maybe he was loved to the point where they thought, leave him alone. And unfortunately, that's what happens with boy cats if they're left like that. He's litter trained. He's house trained. He's friendly. He seems quite kind, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What we want for him is someone who wants a house cat and only wants the one, because he could be the centre of someone's world,
Dog walking dude says,
he'd be great company.
Sorry, I spoke. Dog walking dude says, in my experience with rescue, there are a lot of massive egos and a lot of people who lack social skills. Maybe it's the lack of social skills. I don't know. Jen says, maybe when you work in these places, you see so many examples of people acting like gits to animals, you end up hating all people. It could be that. Quiet bloke. I had 2 stray kittens several years ago living in my garden. The big charities were no help. I then called a small local charity. They couldn't have been nicer. And I think that's what I would do. That's what I would do next time. Very quickly, just going back to the hot tub. So the hot tub man came. I never know if people know who I am or not. And setting up the hot tub, halfway through, he went, yeah, I've listened to the podcast.
Oh, shit.
So he may be here tonight.
Every time.
Exactly. And I went, I don't know if that's good or bad. And he didn't answer that. He didn't say, no, it's all good. He didn't answer it. And he said, of course, I listened to the one hot tub maths. Now, as you know, Catherine, I have no idea what we did at the start of the show tonight.
I remember what hot tub maths was about.
Go on, explain it, because he
you were
reminded
thinking about
me.
buying one,
yeah.
And then people dissuaded you and said you'll end up spending that amount in your first season.
Sorry, I have to interrupt. Andy, it then could get in hot water. I'm not even going to time you out. I want you to time yourself out for 5 minutes. All right? It's 8:09. I don't want to hear from you till it's 8:10, right? Just then. I don't want to hear from you till 8:15, all right? Because that is shameful. That's shameful. I don't like shaming people, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to. And he said, I listened to the hot tub, and then he explained what it was. I went, oh, right, okay. And then we talked about whether it was worth buying a hot tub or not.
And what did he say? No, rent
he said,
one
no,
from me.
hire them. But he was very nice. So I now have a hot tub in my back garden. I've got a gazebo. We're all set. Can I go and get my food out of the microwave, please?
Please. Yes.
Thanking you.
Let me explain to you what I've got behind me. So I found we've had a clear out. Finally, I have no box. Basically, this looks like a tidy-ish part of my living room because it's like all open plans. This is the dining table. Over there is the living room. And behind where you are has been loads of boxes because we cleared out the spare room so my eldest could have her own room finally. She's nearly 15 now. So in the course of that, we had these boxes and my youngest was reticent to go through them because, she's been dealing with a lot of stuff and she was not ready to start getting rid of that part of her life. So anyway, we finally did it the other week. And actually, she's feeling a lot better about stuff because we've got room clear. But what I did find in the course of that was these, right? Little handbells that we got in Christmas crackers about before lockdown. And they've all got little numbers on. And they came with sheet music. There is a slight problem though, because they go, look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is like 7 sharp. So I don't know what we're supposed to do with that. I wonder if I can loosen or tighten. It'll be tightening something, won't it? Anyway, these are going to be played with again at Christmas because the Christmas before lockdown, we had these and it was a hoot. I was the conductor. We had one piece of sheet music between everyone and it was just me calling out the numbers. Oh, you could only hear a couple of them. Oh, I forgot about this bloody thing on Twitch.
What thing?
On Zoom, you can't hear music. Anyway, just enough to say, suffice to say, it doesn't matter just for the sake of this, but these were great. But during pre-lockdown, we played with the bells around the Christmas table and the kids loved it because it was like all the grown-ups and all the children. And I had to call out the numbers and I kept shouting out 6, 6, 6. And the response was always, you're 6. I kept forgetting.
I would do 6. I would do 6, 9.
There isn't a 9. There is 8, which sounds a lot like 7. I don't know how we might have to tighten this one. Oh. Anyway, so that's what those bells are about there. And these are treasures and we're going to use them again because we didn't really get our money's worth out of them for the last few years.
At the party, we're having a tombola.
Oh, yeah.
£2 a pop. We take cards.
We what now?
£2 a pop. We take cards.
You can't take money off your guests.
Of course I can. My fridge is full of beer, wine, and burgers and Schlur. Got some Schlur. Couldn't get any cream soda.
Is that Schlur from when I brought it over about 3 months ago?
Yep, but I also bought some more. I couldn't get any cream soda.
Oh, damn it. It's as if only old men drink it.
Shut up. Shut up. Dave Dogface, you still here? I'm inviting you into the chat. This is only for Dave Dogface. Once he acknowledges he's here, then I'll post it. This is only... there's not a coconut shy, but there is genuinely a tombola.
There was a brand tub when we had a previous engagement, but...
Oh, I've got knock down the cans as well. That link is only for Dave. No one else must use it.
Shall I bring the candy floss machine, or is that too much faffing?
No.
No?
No, don't worry. I'm eating some Chinese crappy ready meal from Tesco.
Yeah, is it good though? Sometimes the cheaper ones are the better ones.
It's all right,
I bought the finest before, and they're not as good.
It's all right. Dave is joining us. Dave was at a concert that we were at. Oh, it actually has got a dog face. Dave, unmute yourself, selector. Both selector.
He was here just now, and I thought he might join in, but he's gone. So
he's adorable. Whose dog is that?
Live at Madison Square Garden.
Yours?
Yes, Bailey. That's our dog.
We have never seen your dog.
I thought you were
Or
a cat man. What the hell?
Okay, it can be a cat and dog. That's fine.
We've never seen your dog. We've never even heard mention of your
No,
dog.
no. And so you,
Is
you
that
speak
where
as
the
if we've not been
nickname
paying
comes from?
attention.
No, it's a Eels song. Dog face boy.
Have you really got a dog?
Yeah. Do you want me to prove it? Do you want me to go
Yes.
get him?
A
Right.
picture of Eric Wareheim in space. This is unprecedented. Did you know he had a dog?
No, and I remember everything.
Chat,
We know
did
this.
you know he's had a dog?
We know about Willow, his cat.
MPM 10176 says, invite me round. We'll have a blast. Not a chance.
Someone's making vomiting. Oh, there's a dog. Someone's making vomiting sounds upstairs, which would be hilarious. But one of my kids got sent home from throwing up
you wanna have
today
a
at
look?
school. So let's not do
You
that.
briefly saw him.
Yes,
Yeah?
we did.
Yeah.
Right. So, Sunday.
Bloody Sunday.
Big old concert at the Palladium. James Burton, Elvis's guitarist in the 70s, played on loads of stuff, part of the Wrecking Crew. There was a James Burton and Friends concert. It came into my sphere of awareness because Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees was performing there. Tickets like 150 quid, I think, 160 quid. And I wasn't going to spend that knowing he'd do like 2 or 3 songs. Anyway, someone pointed me in the direction of website Central Tickets that had tickets for the booking fee alone at £10 each. So me and Catherine got tickets, and Dave messaged me going, "There'll be crap seats, right?"
Yeah.
And I said, "I have got no idea. You don't find out until the day what the seats are."
But also for a tenner, you've got no right to moan.
No,
yeah,
it doesn't
down.
matter. So you got one. You were down in the stalls.
Yes.
You had better seats than us, and we got in first.
I think it's. I just want a single ticket. And usually, Although, have you ever tried to book any tickets and leave a single ticket on a row? You get that thing come up saying
No,
you
you
cannot
can't do
leave.
it.
You cannot
Yeah.
leave single tickets. So how do they did that? I don't know.
It's a real reminder that you don't have friends.
Yes.
So we
mind.
went. So I mean, all this. It's the Palladium, so all the seats are great. We were in the Royal stalls, which is like the first stalls up, and there was. All right, we'll go through it. We'll go through it bit by bit. Right. So I love the Palladium. It was really great. Dave was there. Friend of mine, Katie, was there with her husband Richard. They're not. He most definitely is not. She's a huge Monkees fan, and I made a short film about Monkees fans. She's in it. You can look at it on YouTube, and I've met her quite a few times. So she was there. She was there for Mickey. We bumped into our friend Jonathan Sloman, who's a film editor, whose dad is a very famous film editor, and I can't remember what he's worked on, but it's loads of really, really big stuff. And Jonathan we always seem to bump into him at these slightly fringy. We should have asked if he's going to the next Mark Lewison, which he probably will.
No, I can tell you he's going to the next Clinton Baptiste. So.
There we go. So he'd also got £10 tickets for him and his mum and his dad. There was Martin from Ruth and Martin's Album Club.
Yeah, Album Club. Yeah.
For those who go and look that up. Anyway, so we got in there, we sat down, and let's go act by act. The opening act.
No. The star as well.
Go on.
Caris Matthews comes on.
Oh yeah, go on. Go on.
Introduces it and says, "Here's James Burton."
No. You please. You are doing the opening act the disservice of not mentioning them. You remember them?
Oh,
Essex
God,
County.
Essex County. Yeah.
It was a country and western band from Essex called Essex County. There's 3 brothers and a guy on pedal steel, although you couldn't hear the pedal steel. Now, their harmonies were incredible. And I think there is a thing about family members singing together. It really slots in beautifully. The harmonies were incredible.
Yeah.
However, when they spoke like they were from Essex.
Yeah.
When they sang like cowboy
They were from
men.
Tennessee. In fact, one of their lyrics was, "Some boys are just cowboys" or something, I thought, and some are more like roofers. But they sang very well.
It was honestly.
But the first one was about boom boxes, wasn't it? The first song
Oh, I
was-
quite like my boom box. One was about dust.
One was about dust. I can't remember what the middle one was about.
Had they been 3 dudes, like 3 old men from Texas or Nashville, I'd have been into it. It was the fact. It was the putting on the American accent to me made me
Yeah.
very, very icky.
But you know, Taylor Swift used to do that. We've been listening to some vintage Taylor, and she used to do the voice too.
But she's American. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
little
but
bit
she's
closer.
not that kind of American.
So they did. And also, what was interesting is, I don't know if you got the email, Dave. The show was moved forward about 20 minutes, half an hour. I thought that was interesting, and that comes into play at the end. Anyway, so they did their bit. Cerys Matthews introduced them, and then they went, and then Cerys Matthews came out. I love Cerys Matthews. I've always had a big crush on her. I think she's so good. I love
Tony were
Tony.
great, yeah.
However, I found her very flat in this. It was a real, are you having a good
notes.
time? It was a real buzzkill kind of vibe. What do you reckon,
Yeah.
Catherine?
It was like, in 1952, this next act came up from his hometown in Alabama, and he became immediately a massive hit. And it just went on a little bit too long.
So it went on too long, and then you announced him, and you went, "Who the fuck is that?"
Yes.
He sold 200 million records, and his name is. And
then it would be interspersed with, "Are you feeling happy?" And everyone went, "Hey."
Yeah.
It's Sunday night.
So
We found out the bloke next to us played a tenner, and we paid 150
oh
quid.
God, I was saying it loudly because I wanted everyone around me to be pissed off. So she then introduced, ladies and gentlemen, this is James Burton. Then she went off, and then there's nothing for about 2 or 3 minutes. I've been there. I don't know if I told you guys, I introduced The Who. They didn't come on for 10 minutes.
Well, I was downstairs near the mixing desk, so you could hear sort of.
Well, what we could hear was, after about 3 minutes, someone going, "Can you hear me?" And the audience going, "Yeah," doing that. And then there was the vibe they're about to start. And then you heard Brian May going, "We can't start." And then Brian, so that was annoying. But that went on for about 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That pushed everything out of sync. We'll get to that at the end. Then Brian May came out. And I forget that people really, really love Brian May. Because I've met him, and it's like, oh, Brian May. And when he came out, whoa, the place went crazy. Where do you stand on Queen, Dave? You're a fan, right?
I was in the Queen fan club when I was young, when I was in teenage. I adore Queen completely. I know you're not a fan.
I liked some of the singles. I don't dismiss them outright. So what was it like for you seeing Brian May in a theatre like that?
Yeah, that was really exciting. I can't get around. I saw Queen with Paul Rogers. And I went to the Freddie Mercury tribute.
Classic Queen. I call the Rogers era classic Queen.
And I'd really like to go and see the new version because it's a great show, but I haven't managed to get round to it yet.
And when it came out, me and Catherine went, "Oh, this is really exciting." And it was really exciting seeing them on stage. Curtain lifted.
I was excited to see
Anita
Dobson in
the Royal Box. Yeah, we saw Anita Dobson.
That's my royalty.
So the curtain went up. What a great stage. Drum kit, percussion, brass section. They had about 3 keyboards. We couldn't see the backing singers. They were kind of to the right of the stage right.
They were incredible.
They were having a lot of fun, particularly during the last bits where they were just, taking.
Oh,
the last bits.
We'll talk about the last bit. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
We got very, very uncomfortable.
Is that a tape? I thought.
Because we couldn't see them.
Good, but...
So at the front, you got James Burton. Go and Google him. Brian May and Ronnie Wood.
Yeah, he's earned his place in the rock and roll pantheon.
Again, I'm not a fan of the Stones.
Ronnie Wood looking like one of your nan's friends.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Stones. I did a comedy gig once, and Ronnie Wood sat in the front and talked all the way through it. However,
it was less Ronnie Wood that Ronnie probably would, but he can't manage it anymore.
Yeah,
that's my first time seeing a Stone on stage. Though I've never seen the Stones. So had to be that one.
And then they played some songs. Then Brian May sang "Hello, Mary Lou."
Opened with Susie Q, didn't they? Susie Q was the opening song.
Oh yeah.
I just did some maths earlier on. Susie Quattro's 73. When I interviewed her, she was 48. I saw a clip of that today, actually, by coincidence. She was 48, and we thought she was old.
You interviewed her more recently than that.
Yeah, no, this is when I was on the 11 o'clock show. Oh. So that went on, and James Burton, bless him, couldn't stand. He's got to be a million years old. Couldn't stand. But his guitar playing. I think he did one song where he was actually in the wrong key. However, his history cannot be denied. If he wants to go and play, if he wants to sit down and not play much of play, you've earned the opportunity, Mr. Burton, to do whatever you want, and I absolutely think it's
very much a Brian Wilson thing, isn't it? I think very
much. Brian's been getting wheeled out in a wheelchair to gigs recently.
Yeah.
And it started off well, and then it got quite a lot of wobbly rock and roll, and it was like, okay.
Well, it was. I can tell you guys are having a good time. There were a couple of moments like that, right?
It genuinely picked up for me, and I'd be interested to hear your unbiased view, Dave. When Mickey Dolenz and the Monkees came out, it was again a really weird introduction from Keris.
Yeah.
Here we come, walking down the street. It was really weird introduction. I thought, but when she was doing that, it did get excited because people thought, oh, a monkey. I thought it totally went up a gear then because he is so amiable and so lovely, and he sang 3 massive, you know, number 1 songs. I'm a Believer, Randy Scouse Git, and Daydream Believer, and it weren't songs that James Burton actually played on, which is weird. But I felt then, whoom, so it totally lifted.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I say I've never seen a monkey, so
yeah,
another tick. Never seen a monkey. Yeah, and he played, Randy Scouse Git. I think awesome song, and he sort of took over, didn't he? He said, "Oh, this is a song that Neil Diamond wrote for us," and
he's
told
78.
The story. Yeah, and his voice was stunning,
wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was.
Really was. What did you think, Catherine? Because I know I am incredibly biased, so people won't believe me.
I thought he was great. I expected him to be so because you've talked him up so much. But, also he's been in show business since he was a child, right? So he came on and he owned it and he made us all feel like he knew what he was doing. It was that moment of, all right, well, here we go. He's going to tell us this. And he told us the story. So here I went to a party with the Beatles. I'm told it was great.
I told her I had a great time.
Laughter, yeah. And then it's, and when I got home, I wrote this song, and I had no idea what the title meant, but it turns out it's a horny Liverpudlian, which I never would have called it if I hadn't realised. So we had to give it an alternate title. So here it is, alternate title.
Crazy
Boom,
60s.
Everyone's in. Yeah.
So he was great.
He was good.
Let's not break down the whole thing because we Jesus, it went on.
Glenn Campbell bit.
Lovely.
I like that guy when he came out later on.
I know who he is.
What did we get his name? Do we remember his name?
Warrener. His name was
Warrener.
Warrener.
Yeah.
I thought he's one of. There are quite a few acts that we'd never heard of.
Grammy Award winning, big in country, apparently.
Yeah. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. He was the one person I didn't know that I came away going, oh, I'm going to check him out. That was good. I
thought the young female singer was great, Ariel.
Yep.
She was really good.
I always sort of slightly tense the story and said, Brian May encountered her when she was 17. I went,
Yeah.
I tell you, I really loved Oates. Oates from Hall & Oates. And I embarrassed Catherine because I kept going, Oates! Oates! And she was laughing. Then she said, actually, stop it. And I said, right, the end of the next song, shout out Oates. It's so much, Oates!
Both of us were doing it then, like a couple of days.
I'm reminded, you ever see that Big Train sketch where Hall and Oates
detectives?
No, they're on in a sink estate going around sorting stuff out. Yeah. And there's a point where they get into a bit of a fight with some youths, and I think it's Simon Pegg who's Darryl Hall. Is Kevin Eldon, or the actor Kevin Eldon as Oates. Oates gets pushed over. Goes, don't push Oates over. So I never see John Oates.
So Go on, Dave. Sorry, I interrupted.
No, I just reminded there's also a Simpsons thing where they get the other people from ACT. So it's Art Garfunkel, John Oates, and sort of.
I was a little disappointed it wasn't Hall if it's me one, but actually, I enjoyed his set, and he messed up the verse, and I loved that.
Tell you who else was good? Peter Cetera's replacement in Chicago.
Oh, okay. I'll leave you two to fight this one out. I'm turning my mic off. It's ding, ding, ding. In the blue corner, it's Catherine. In the red corner, it's Dave. Over to you guys.
So it's like hearing something with a little bit of.
Well, it was the son of Jerry Sheff, who was in Elvis's band. Both Elvis's band, actually. James Burton played with Costello as well. This is my problem with the second. I thought it was and we haven't mentioned one act yet, but the second half, I thought, where's James Burton gone?
I'm not sure he wasn't having a lie down.
Yeah, because they started playing bloody Chicago, where I don't want to hear Chicago anyway, let alone. So
I'm going to ask you how you feel about Steely Dan later.
Oh, right, I've got the text. Say that I'm going to read it out. I don't care. So as it's happening, fucking Chicago. This is very much a gig of two halves.
Yeah.
I loathe that second half.
Yeah.
Steely fucking Dan. Chicago, some limp ass funk.
Yeah.
If I'd left at half time, I'd have missed nothing. It
Yeah.
goes on.
Yeah. Oh dear.
A bloke from Chicago who replaced the famous singer bloke doing Chicago songs. Oates from H&O, a.k.a. the crap one doing Elvis covers. Steely effing Dan by a guitarist, a bland blues teenager. And I'll agree with you on this. And a mass Johnny B. Good, which never ends well. He's right with the Johnny B. Good.
And never ends as well.
Oh, it never ends as well. Right.
The thing I did notice that I thought was Jeff. Jeff. And this isn't even to do with the fella we will discuss at some point. Jeff in terms of this show. Crap. So a lot of this music, especially the Elvis music, we all know is at best derivative, mostly nicked, right?
Yeah.
From black rhythm and blues.
Oh, yeah, it's very white.
Right? So towards the end, there is an amazing bassist comes on, completely takes control of the situation, and is telling bits of the audience.
He switched to guitar then, but yeah.
Bits of the band to sort of quieten down so he could play. It was great, right?
Was that Kingfish, was it? Or was that...
I don't know.
No.
We didn't mention his name.
Didn't mention his name.
Yeah, they didn't, no.
This is a guy in the ornate...
This whole ending made me so uncomfortable. The bit when he was telling the band to shut up.
Because those singers were incredible, right? There was a singer in there who sounded like Aretha, and at one moment it was like, oh my god, they are in the common parlance taking it to church. It was exactly as it should have been. It was gospel,
and they were having so much. I mean, you couldn't see it from your angle. They were having so much damn fun with each other.
It was
applauding each other and sort of,
But he was doing what should have been a 3-minute song, and he was stretching it out to about 7-8 minutes. And while that was going on, there was like a kind of a band, a Leo Green band, and I saw what I made up to be the stage manager coming out with a clipboard and clearly saying to him,
his watch.
yeah, pretty much. She's clearly saying, this has got to end because it had started 15 minutes late. Everything was shifting 15 minutes. So then, while they're playing, Karis Matthews comes out. She's always been told, wrap it up. Okay, everybody. Okay, we're coming to the end.
Night. Yeah.
And this fella was
She's trying to put the chairs up and he's not allowing it.
He was having none of it. And rightly so. There were only 2 black performers, apart from the backing singers. And he brought out another guitarist who again wasn't introduced.
Kingfisher, who was great as well, right? Proper blues guitarist.
Oh, that was Kingfisher. I still don't know who that.
The only black guy to get like a solo spot was told to cut it short.
Yeah.
It's not right, is it? And so that stuff makes me so uncomfortable because I've been in that position where you have to try and wrap up someone because of time. I had to do it with Bez, and Bez called me out a couple of years later. You're that who made me shut up on that. Bez, it was a live TV show, mate. Can't stand the bloke. And so that made me so uncomfortable. And then it finally kind of ground to a halt. Then they did Johnny Be Good. And we got up to go because I don't need to hear that.
That's the thing, right? They shut it up for that, for all the white guys to have a little go at something.
Oh, not just the white guys, of course. They had the 11-year-old, who I found out later is from
Britain's Got Talent.
Britain's Got Talent. They brought a little kid on who was a precocious little twat.
Bring back corporal punishment. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Oh my God, someone should have tripped him over.
It's like to see kids enjoying themselves. I didn't go for that. But there's 2 things we missed out, which was I was very excited to see Artie Fufkin on stage.
Artie Fufkin, whose name is complete. We used to call him
Paul Schaefer.
Paul Schaefer. I remember watching when David Letterman came and did a week's worth of shows in the UK, and Harry Hill was bumped every single night. And we watched one while we were on LSD, and we worked out that David Letterman was Beelzebub and Paul Schaefer was Mephistopheles. So I always think of him as Mephistopheles. But it was exciting seeing him on stage, even though he couldn't. He couldn't remember the lyrics to Great Balls of Fire. He had them written out in front of him. Couldn't remember the lyrics to Great Balls of Fire.
I know the tune sometimes. You notice that. He didn't know the rhythm of the lyrics.
And funnily enough, when I saw James Burton, it was the week that Letterman was over because Costello did a covers album in the mid-90s. and he was on Letterman's show, and also sitting in the band that night were not Jerry Lewis, Chuck Berry and Little Richard, and Elvis was singing "Bama Lamba Bamaloo," and he completely blew his fucking throat out. Singing it because he was sitting in front of Little Richard, and so he was doing this gig the next night. It was live on the radio, and his voice was completely shot. But that's the only time I saw James Burton. And of course, the other person who came on stage and announced he's going to play a song from his new album.
Oh, we forgot about Van the Man. And again,
Van
he
Morrison.
walked out looking amazing. And I did say to Catherine, "Oh my God, I'm so excited."
Yeah.
Here's a song from a new album. Oh, jeez.
I laughed thinking, that's a funny joke. Oh, hang on a minute, it's Van Morrison.
He had a gold microphone stand brought out for him.
Yep.
And he did three like old blues songs. You know what?
And he was the only one shown to his. You see, someone actually got a torch and sort of showed him to his. But
I did enjoy seeing him. His voice was great. I enjoyed seeing him actually.
Yeah, there were 4
his
songs.
Attitude stunk, and that's what we expect.
Yeah.
But just before he was about to go off, this guy, the same guy who showed him out, ran in front of the backing singers, stood to attention like it was
Yes.
and then Van must have looked at him, and he walked off stage, and this bloke came and got the gold microphone and took it out of the way.
But I don't know what point you left. So we got up as Johnny B. Good was ending, and it was the end of the night, right? And it clearly overrun. And then James Burton shuffled forward and went, this is the only time he spoke, "Thank you very much. I look forward to doing this again next time." Then he started another song.
Yeah.
And all the other band, like even Brian May was like, "Oh, shit. We can't." And at that point we left. It's like, I felt so uncomfortable that I had to leave.
They bought the curtain down.
No.
Yeah, they did.
They?
Yeah, they started playing that blues jam or whatever it was, and then the curtain started
stay
coming
for
down.
that.
So I went, "Oh, this case it went up again."
That is similar to our experience of the Palladium. They have got very firm closing times, haven't they?
Yes.
When we won our award, they kicked us out.
You probably get fined, I should think.
Yeah. You could hear it from outside. So
10 quid. It's worth.
10 quid. I had the time of my life. You're right. I could have missed the second half and not missed anything really.
Although that nice bit where they were sitting around the start of the second half and they were just doing.
Oh, that bit was lovely. Yeah. No.
And she did Boots of Maple Walking. I thought that was.
I had a great time. We drove in, free parking in London on a Sunday. Boom. I was in. We got a Mackie D's on the way home. Perfect night. Perfect night.
Yeah, I got a Mackie D's on the way home.
There we go. That's it.
Which one did you stop at?
We stopped at the first one on the A40.
Oh, not what's it? Target Roundabout, not that one.
Oh, I don't know the names of roundabouts. Who do you think I am?
You know, the one that's on the top of the it's just.
Oh no! This is the one you're on the A40 and you've got to turn off to the left.
Yeah.
We did that. We did that. But yeah, again for a tenner, it was great. It was lovely seeing you. It was lovely seeing my friend Katie. It was lovely meeting Martin. And seeing John. It was a really, really lovely evening.
It was.
So more of that, please, Dave.
Yes.
Thank you very much. That was a nice little.
Every time we go to a gig, I'll report it again.
Yeah. Do I mean our next thing is Kiss.
No, it isn't.
What's our next thing?
My Life Story on Friday.
Oh, Christ! My Life Story. Band I've loved for 30 years, and I'm seeing them on my 50th birthday. Also, I'm assuming you're going to a Lewis show, Dave?
Yeah, I'm going to the 2 ones on Sunday.
Which ones? Who are they?
Harry Hill and the actor Kevin Eldon.
We are seeing Johnny Marr.
Yeah. I think Stephen might be coming over for the Sunday ones. He might be coming over for a quick visit, but from the Nothing Is Real. But yes, they're planning on doing a live show in London sometime this year.
Beautiful.
Acast are paying to do it. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah, but
Dave, lovely to see you, my friend.
Good to see you both at the gig. I'll see you on Saturday.
Chowsy chow. Yeah, Dave's coming to the party. See you then. Chowsy chow.
Bring your trunks.
Yasser's in. Good evening, Yasser. Okay, guys. Can I be honest? We're trying to get to £60,000. Donate. We've got to £66. It's 0%. You can't even see it. You can't even see the pink line on there. With respect, you are disrespecting me. It's my 50th birthday. Look, designer jeans, £10. Happy birthday, Ian. Looking forward to the MLS gig. Oh, you're going to be at the did we chat earlier on Twitter or something? Are you going to be at the gig? Are you Designer Jeans? Come and say hello if you are. I'm very, very excited. So that's good. So £76. We've got a long, long way to go. I think we can do it. You can't even see the pink line there. You can't even see the pink line at the beginning of things. So
and
really
not to put any pressure on you, because I know times are tough, but it is his birthday coming.
It's my birthday. We're at £76. Can we get to at least, we're here till 10 tonight, can we get to at least £25,000 tonight? We're back tomorrow night 10 till 1. So let's really get that. And if you're listening to the podcast, there's I started doing that coal fire.
Oh yeah, how's that going? How many coffees have you had?
Coal fire. I've had quite a few coal fires.
Oh, nice.
Designer Jeans. I'll be at Bedford. My brother used to be in a house share with a few members of MLS. Oh, brilliant.
Is it Esquires, Bedford? I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, come and sell her.
Oh, that'll be a blast from the past for me. Can I have a diamond white, please?
Of course you can. If you're listening to the podcast, you can always donate to us at paypal.me/Iain Lee, paypal.me/IAINLEE. But even if you're listening to this free podcast, even just subscribing to the free podcast really, really helps. Every subscription to the free podcast, I'm going to put the link in the chat so you guys can do it as well. We get a few pennies. Mm-hmm. So that is really, really helpful. I'll post a link here. But also, if you're watching this, you're thinking, I want to see more of these guys. These guys are so good. We are on Patreon. I'm not even going to patronize you. You know what Patreon is. There's the
Google
podcast. There's it's still labeled as the Rabbit Hole on Acast. Is it? Why is it labeled as the Rabbit Hole? Yeah, it is. Play acast.com/s/the rabbit hole. That can't be right. We need to change that.
It's not called that, I'm sure.
Well, that's the link that it's taken me to. Yeah, it's the rabbit hole. Google Iain Lee and Catherine Boyle Acast, and that's what comes up.
Oh,
how is that possible?
Right. We need to look at that because we did change that.
Patreon.com/Iain and Catherine, patreon.com/IAIN and Catherine with a K. And for the very low fee of £4.99 a month plus VAT, you get at least, or you get generally 2 shows a week to watch live or to watch back. And they also get converted into podcasts. And we're looking at ways of making the podcasts more podcasty, if that makes sense. Do you see what I mean? It says the rabbit hole.
No, I can't. But you know my computer's like, I'll look at it afterwards.
DJ Black says, I'm back on the pods from May 22, so no life spoilers, please. There will be no spoilers. I had a really, really good day yesterday. I can't remember what the first thing was, but I do remember, I tweeted Steve Levine, the producer Steve Levine, Culture Club, etc., because I'd watched, remember we had Steve from the Beach Boys Basement on once. Lovely guy with a big beard. A really great channel on YouTube. If you're into the Beach Boys, go and find the Beach Boys Basement. Tell him we sent you. And he was doing a show about an album called The Beach Boys, otherwise known as Beach Boys 85, because that's when it was done. And it was produced in the UK by Steve Levine. There was a song written by Boy George. It was that kind of, right, we're going to make the Beach Boys relevant, which is always the worst thing you can do with any band. And it's got quite a digitally 80s sound with that gated drum and all of that. I love that album. I think it's so much fun, and I much prefer it over Love You, which is this album, this bizarre. I think it's an awful record, but the hardcore Beach Boys. Well, actually, it's a Brian Wilson solo album, and he plays all of the synths. Yeah, he does, and it sounds crap. He does a song called Solar System. What do the planets mean? And have you ever seen Pluto in the month of June? Something rhymes with moon. Saturn has rings all around it. I searched the skies and I found it. Or, love is a woman, so treat her tenderly tonight. Love is a woman. Da, 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 da. feel all right.
All right.
A woman is love. It's an awful record. So I tweeted, come on, everybody. It's time we all acknowledge that Beach Boys 85 is a great album and is way better than Love You. And I atted Steve Levine, the producer. And he replied, thank you. Made my day. You see, my sister got a tweet liked by Paul McCartney.
Yes.
Outrageous.
Although I don't think he runs his own account, but I don't want to...
Oh, why would you say that out loud? That's the kind of thing I would say, then regret it. Mark, I'm going to type. Mark says, Beach Boys love you, Defender here. This hurts me. It's terrible. It's a terrible record. What are the other... he sits behind his microphone. Johnny Carson. Is that?
Oh, God, right. Okay.
What are the other songs on... I can't think what the other songs are. Anyway, so it's a great album. So I got that, and that absolutely thrilled me and made my day. But then also last night, as many of you know, I now work as a counsellor. I've kind of retired from the radio, and this is one of my creative outlets. There are a few others. I do podcasts for money, only for money now. I do little talking head stuff on TV, and I'm doing some 4 extra stuff. But I'm working as a counsellor. And I've been talking for a while about an ADHD course. I had an idea for a 5-week, 1 hour a week, 5 weeks, little group of 10 people, where I would share my journey with ADHD and share kind of things that I'd learned about coping mechanisms, behaviours. Remember when I got that book, Catherine, and it listed a load of ADHD behaviours, and I kept phoning you up going, oh my God, that thing where I can't hear what you're saying in a restaurant, it's because we can't filter noise properly. The hubbub thing is real.
It was like finding the Haynes manual for all your factory settings.
Totally. And so I'm set this thing up thinking it'll be good to share this stuff with people. And I'm not going to break any confidences. There may be some of the people here I don't know, and I genuinely don't know. I haven't seen any comments. So it's private what happens. But as it got closer and closer, I was so nervous, imposter syndrome kicking in. And the 3 hours before, I tried to have a doze. That didn't work. I tried to walk. That didn't work. I tried to meditate. That didn't work. And I had a big pot of coffee, and we went into it. And it worked. It was, and I'm not going to break any confidence. The bit I can share, like the first 25 minutes was me talking about my story and building up to the diagnosis and how that kind of allowed me to start making peace with my past and change my relationships and stuff like that. And then people shared back, and I won't say what people shared. However, my story had connected with them, and people felt emboldened to share their stories. That's all I need to say. But I came away, and it went on, and it's an hour long, but I've said, look, because we go off on tangents, it's an hour long, but we got 10 to 15 minutes wriggle room. If we go over, we can have another 15 minutes because that's what we do, because we love to go off on tangents. And I came away and I burst into tears because it had been such a profound event for me. I got, first of all, it's the tears of relief that I'd done it. I'd done the first one. But what I got, and being deliberately vague here, I got so much from it. And I came away thinking, oh my God, this is actually really important. It's not just worked. This is actually bigger than I thought it was going to be. This is more significant in people's lives. And not bigging myself up. I'm talking about the act of being a group. Identification is a big part of it, I think. This is actually going to be really important for at least some of these people in this meeting. And I've not read them all yet because I'm kind of make a point of looking at emails on certain days when it's work. But nearly everyone wrote saying, that was great. That was fantastic. Could we talk about this? Is it possible we could include this in it? It was amazing, man. It was absolutely amazing. And I came away with a little glimpse of my future. I think at some point I'm going to kind of maybe cut back on the counselling and move more into this. And by this, I mean doing more groups. This is one of those things that I think probably 4 or 5 weeks, I can do it every other month. I can do it every 3 months or something. So 4 times a year. But then also going off and giving talks to ticket people and talks in businesses and maybe even schools as well. And it's like, oh, okay. I think maybe that's where I'm going to start heading. I was so pleased and I was so proud of myself. It was great. I did something. I did something off my own bat that I think might be important. Cool, huh?
Yeah, something connected, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. Iain fan says would love to join, just haven't got the confidence. Maybe one day. We'll talk about the Brian Harvey thing in a minute. I mean, I mean, it's not cheap the way I'm doing it. However, I'm going to find a way of incorporating, of making it available to people that can't pay. I'm going to find a way of doing that. But yeah, I'm very, very proud of that. Rob says, just seen on Twitter a video of Brian Harvey, E17, shouting outside the court of Prince Harry's court case. Hope he's all right. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's weird because I'm aware that this is a public stream, so I don't want to say, "Oh yeah, Brian Harvey's mentally ill," because I don't know how true that is, and I'm aware that Brian Harvey is fully on top of things in his world. You know, he's fully on top of things, and he has some real, genuine, and righteous beef with Murdoch, with the press. And he has a real reason to be angry, and he has his evidence of why that is just. So I don't want to...
Let's remember who he was going out with at the peak of all this.
Who was he going out with?
Daniela Westbrook.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't, I got a lot of time and a lot of respect for Brian Harvey. Did you see, this is what I was going to say an hour and 40 minutes ago, did you see the Royal Blood... trying to make amends thing on Radio 1? Did you see it?
I didn't see the amends thing, but I did see the quote-unquote tirade, which seemed quite, I mean, it's like being told off by Mumford and Sons to me, but okay.
Oh, Catherine, it was just a joke. It was just a joke. Do you want to watch
Is that what he said?
Do you want to watch... It was on Radio 1. Let's see if we can find it on YouTube. We'll probably get done for this, but what's his name? Grimshaw? Is it Grimshaw?
Grimmy,
Royal
yeah.
Blood. I kind of skipped through it, but it is... All right, here it is.
How to sum it up.
I mean, he did go off flicking the whole stadium the V's.
So you've all seen the clip, right? You've all seen the Royal Blood. I don't have to play that again, do I? Right. No. Shannon McBride says, "Hey dude, sorry I'm late. You asked £20. Oh look, it looks like I'm in Royal Blood. It does, doesn't it? Look, looks like I'm in Royal Blood. Yeah. Let's fix that though, because I don't want to be in that band. They're shit. No more swearing from me. So we want Zoom screen.
When I saw that, actually, the infamous performance, I did wonder whether the guy there that we see in the P cap was Ozzy Osbourne's son, Jack.
He's not.
No, but he's not. I did have to Google that.
Right.
Sure.
We'll have some of this, right? So this is them. They've now gone on Radio 1. You've seen it, right? You've seen the original clip. So this is them on Radio 1 to try and... This is Damage Control.
Yeah. So what's going on in your heads? Mike, where are you?
That's not that's it.
Who's that? I don't know their names. Who is that?
We've met him. Greg James.
Okay, Greg James.
I'm amazed, honestly, at how that escalated to that kind of size. I think.
Iain, I can't hear this.
Oh, can you not hear it? Okay,
Nope.
we've got to make sure you hear, because this is good stuff.
I don't want to miss a mo.
Right, you should be able to hear it.
How to sum it up?
Now?
You've had a shocker there, lads.
Yeah, that really escalated.
Yeah.
It escalated.
So what's going on in your heads? Mike, where are you?
I'm...
I couldn't present a radio show whilst wearing a jumper. I'd be too hot.
No, I was thinking, is
hot.
he? Where is he living?
Yeah, I get
London,
hot.
right? It's always warmer than everywhere else.
amazed, honestly, at how that escalated
You've all seen the original clip. I don't need to play that. Good, right?
to that kind of size. I think, walking off from that show, I felt I was being entertaining.
You walking off, as my sons say, flipping everyone was... Oh, Nelly, you've not seen it?
Oh,
Nelly,
let's watch it, for heaven's sake.
All right, okay, Nelly, dear God. All right, we'll find it.
Sorry, class, we can all blame Nelly. He's wasting your time and ours.
I've got to try and find the clip now. Where? Oh, jeez, it's not on. It's not on. Let me see if it's on Twitter. Hang on. No. Here we go. Right. Can you see my Twitter feed there, Catherine? Can you see Twitter? No.
It's yes. No. Hang on.
Hang on.
You're showing me something. Showing me lots of
There
screens.
we go. Right. So you can see this, right?
Oh, spat it out over all these equipment.
This is Ben Thatcher who plays drums. Everybody say hi to Ben, please. So that's what happened, and it became a massive. Thing. If I get rid of this, can you see what we were looking at originally? Does that appear, or do I need to? No. Screen share stop. No. Right. Hang on.
Yeah.
Share screen. There we go. You can see that now.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay. So these are like right knobhead, says Nelly. Yes. So this is them now trying to apologise for it. So he's saying when he walked off doing that, it was a joke.
In a way of trying to make light of the situation, perhaps I was doing a performance where I felt a little bit out of place. I expected to be sort of a little bit bemused and maybe confuse a few people, but not to that kind of scale.
The drummer sounds like Alan Bezic, just through the breathing.
Yeah, I mean the breathing is quite off-putting. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty wild.
It was
pretty wild.
Pretty wild.
It was a moment of madness that has gone out of control, I think. And
What does the P stand for? P.
Where's the P? I can't see.
On his hat.
Oh, I can't see his hat. Probably stands for penis.
We actually love the gig. We love playing music, and we love, doing what we do. So, it's been a bit of a mad week to come out of this.
What have you been doing the last few days? Do you feel how do you feel about it? What's in your?
I bet the butler's had a right flea in his ear.
Ellie.
It was somewhat of a blip on my part because.
Never. What is it? Never apologise.
Never explain, never apologise. The
Never
Kate Moss
explain, never
defence.
apologise. This is worse. This is a grovelling, snivelling. I don't sweat. I went to a pizza restaurant in Newbury or whatever it was. This is worse, right?
Yeah.
It would have taken me 3 minutes to think, maybe these people don't know who you are. Maybe but I didn't I wasn't.
He's got a really licky voice.
If the audience don't know who you are, you work twice as hard to try and win them over.
Yeah,
and
he seemed pissed off they didn't know who they were. That was the gag, right?
You might be lucky and get 10% of the crowd that go, oh shit, they were good. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Going through that thought process, I was like very pumped backstage.
Well, don't.
By your mate.
And I actually really enjoyed playing.
Nelly says, this is pure dishonesty. The smirk from the guy on left doesn't help. And you got to remember, this is radio, but radio now has got cameras and stuff. But this is technically radio, so we shouldn't be seeing this smirk. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be seeing it.
A great time. And the ending to me, I felt like a sort of pro wrestler. I was sort of like walking off like... I felt like a sort of pantomime villain. I didn't feel like I'd done anything... sort of morally wrong.
Yeah.
I felt like a bit of a wind up, honestly. That's kind of how I felt.
Well, so here's my reading of it. It's because
Right, so we jump forward. We don't want to see all of it. But then there's a bit where he gets the memes out.
I mean, I can't lie about it. It's not nice to see things like that. There are some funny things that go up, but the most of it is pretty nasty. But that's another thing. That's a total different thing to talk about, I think.
Yeah, how we treat each other online is a sort of at-length conversation. But
How we treat each other online is an at-length sort of conversation.
Well, rather than how you treat people who've paid to come and see you.
Which is, I don't want to have now. Well, you're having it.
Well, I enjoy memes, and I enjoy you as people and as musicians. But I also...
He hasn't even got a T-shirt under there. Or has he? Is that a little black thing? Because if you wear a jumper with no T-shirt, you're committed to the jumper for the whole day.
Yeah.
If it gets hot, you're committed to it.
Enjoyed some of the reactions.
I think you're the only one right now.
He has got a T-shirt underneath,
I'm gonna-
guys. I can report that this man who's not Grimshaw has got a T-shirt underneath.
Greg
Just
James,
hand you over a meme pack, which I
Okay, there we go.
presented.
This is. It should be called a meme pack. This is meme,
Right, okay.
but funny.
They've already established that they did not enjoy the memes, but he's committed to the bit now, isn't he?
I mean, he's aware that they are totally destroying anything they had left.
There's one.
It is like Spinal Tap, where they get to read the reviews out. Oh,
Yeah,
this is
one
just
says shit.
This is just a 2-word one shit sandwich. And what's great in that is they hadn't seen any of the reviews in Spinal Tap, and they all laugh spontaneously when they get shit sandwich. Here's one for. Oh no, here's one for your album, Shark Sandwich. 2 words. It simply says shit sandwich, and they start laughing. Going, really? Are they allowed to print that then? We'll find that bit in a moment.
There's one each. Thank you. There's a meme pack for you.
Okay.
The first one
These guys don't wanna
is
see it,
from
look at his
Alexandra Haddo, very funny lady. She tweeted at 7:51 on Tuesday morning saying, what a lovely relaxing bank holiday. Now to log on for my first day as the PR manager for very cool and popular band Royal Blood.
Good one.
It was a busy day for Alexandra, I can tell you that.
1 million views.
Here we go. Now we're talking.
Now we get into the stuff that I really love, which is Partridge.
Yeah.
So there's definitely elements of Partridge about that
The
performance.
look on the
Mike.
guy in the left's face.
He's not enjoying this.
Does not want to do
This
this.
is not. He's been told by his PR, this will clean everything up. It's making it worse.
At the big weekend, which was when he's hosting the fair in Swaffham, and says, "You're not even listening, are you?" So
I can't believe there's some people talking at the back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of it.
Yeah.
Fire! The fair's on fire. That was very much what you were channeling, I thought. On
Yeah.
I mean, he's basically saying you were a couple of tits,
Yeah. And people noticed.
but they can't tell him to F off because then it's the same thing again. Except, actually, I think if they had told him to F off, that would have done more good than this whole interview.
Is it terrible? I suppose it is if they're trying to sell records. I don't remember any of the songs, but I do remember their behaviour.
stage. And then someone says the last word on the Rob Blood thing. Samantha says the DJ came on after them and played the Macarena, and the whole crowd went absolutely wild. Royal Blood must have been spewing.
Livid. Livid, yeah. Never has the Macarena made one
You should
so
never
angry.
play
Never has the Macarena made one
so angry.
the Macarena after us.
Yeah.
No.
Ever.
We should start playing it before, honestly.
I think so.
Right.
he's
What they've
really-
done there is told everyone exactly how to follow them every time.
He's really doing his best to. I'm just having. I'm one of you guys. I'm one of you guys. I'm just having
Ross,
fun.
Yeah.
Look.
We should start playing it before, honestly.
I think so. You can address them. Like the people who are in Dundee there'll be loads of them listening now. What's your message to the crowd from Dundee?
I've not heard this, so this is going to be great. Whatever this is going to be great. Here we go.
My message is that I meant no offence. We look forward to coming back, and applause is optional.
Good.
Applause is optional. Applause is optional. Could be the new. It was ill-advised, but not illegal.
To know. Well, thanks for coming on the Breakfast Show today.
Thanks for having us.
I really
We're
want to
looking
play
for
your
a
new
name for our new band. We should call it that.
Yeah.
song, but before we do, I want to play the Macarena.
Oh, God.
Okay, and
We just told you never to play the Macarena
I thought it was
before.
banned, yeah.
well, we're going to play the Macarena, and this is your punishment, and then
You have
we're
to
going
dance
to
it.
play Mountains at Midnight. Okay.
Thank you.
We deserve it. Go on, go play the Macarena.
Look at him.
He is.
Go on then. Play the Macarena.
Yes, the unbothered face there on the left.
Oh, it's flipping horrible, isn't it? It's absolutely horrendous. Oh, but I love it. I love it.
And Greg James would have felt that, but he already knew that that's where they were leading to.
Yeah. What fun. What fun. Jimbo, I can't even read that out. What an outrageously libelous message to put in the chat. Unless you mean train line.
Phone line.
Do you ever miss being on the radio?
No.
End of that conversation.
I don't.
No, I don't think I do. Go on.
I miss. I miss the I miss the days, and they were always numbered, weren't they? But when we were allowed to do what we wanted to do, I liked that. That was fun. But it almost always ended up being less fun.
Yeah.
And I never enjoyed the part of being on the radio that meant that everyone could just have a pop at you and you were supposed to suck it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I would, on the way to the gig on Sunday, we finally, I bought myself a lovely little MP3 player, right? Surfans F20. And what I'm going to load it with is all of my rare Monkees albums, bootlegs, box sets that aren't available on Spotify. Dave gave me a very nice hard drive full of Beatles bootlegs. I'm going to put that on there. All my Japanese bands, all my Imani stuff. A lot of stuff that isn't on Spotify, I'm going to put it on there. But one thing I have loaded on there is 360 episodes of Alan Beswick's phone-in shows from the 80s. And we were listening to one on the way in. And it was about 85. And what was interesting was the drink drive laws had just come in. And what were the ones they were talking about that might come in? It was drink driving.
It was whether taxis might be able to stop and pick up someone else.
No, there was something
there.
else. There was something else that has since become law. And I can't think what it was. There's something that's since become like a law that we just kind of accept. Can't think what it was. Anyway, I'll tell you what was on there. So the drink driving thing had literally just come in, and so a lot of people say, "I don't think it's right."
You might be right.
No, it wasn't seatbelts. It wasn't seatbelts. And people go, "I don't think it's right. If I want to have a drink, I'll have a drink." Then there were some adverts. Do you remember the advert?
It was all "Don't drink and drive," wasn't it?
No. But there was, a drink company had brought out a low alcohol drink called Drivers.
It was a Britvic.
Britvic Drivers, low alcohol. It was called Drivers because it was low alcohol, and the law had just changed, so there was a booze limit. And I wonder if we can find it. Britvic Drivers. What it was? I wish I could think what the other thing was. Britvic Drivers, low alcohol, 1985. No, it has been erased from history. It's been erased from history, everybody. But yeah, they were advertising Britvic Drivers. But what was good was no, it wasn't it wasn't anything to do with a car. It was something else. Can't remember. But
to do with going abroad? Was it something?
No. Can't think. But so we listened to that on the way in. We listened to about 90 minutes of that on the way in. And I was reminded of when I started in phone-in radio, maybe the first 10 years of it. Call after call after call after call. You had so many calls that if you didn't like the sound of someone's voice, you go, right, not you, next, because you had enough calls to fill a show.
Yeah.
And that, for me, stopped, I don't know, 2010, 2013, something like that. You'd have enough calls to fill a show. And it was brilliant. And he was funny, and he was brusque, and he was rude, and he had prank callers, and he had kids doing adult voices, and he had people making stupid points. And he was telling them they were idiots and stuff. Then we listened to a live Alan Beswick show from Now on the way home. And, I mean, the act is still very similar. But there's just no calls.
No.
There's no calls, and he kept. You can tell when he doesn't get many calls because he'll play a lot of Blondie, and a lot of Son of a Preacher Man.
Yeah.
But
although I must admit, when we listened to the 80s one, I was tickled on the Red Rose radio show. I was tickled by the fact he said, and that was Alison Moyet, which is track 1 on Hits, the latest Hits album. And we're going to be playing the next one. I just put a tape in.
It was the contrast, and not the contrast in his act. His act is almost irrelevant in this, actually. It's the contrast as to what phone-in radio is now.
Yeah.
Now, his time, I think, should be up there, because whenever anybody else sits in for him, they get a lot more calls. And I think that says a lot about him and how long he's been there. Visionary said, I had the Hits album, Volume 1. Was the first one Alison Moyet? But for me, it's the difference in what phone-in radio was compared to what it is now.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different thing. And it's not the same. That someone phoning you at 12:30 at night. I don't know. I could try and analyze it too much. I won't. But it's not the same thing.
It seems to be a lot of it is concentrating on the polemic and controversial, and that seems to be the thing that gets the phones ringing. Yeah, it does, but you know what you're going to get. No one's actually going on there and having just a natural conversation anymore. That's not what I hear anyway. It's all, so immigrants, have your say, give us a call, and it's all stoking division and hatred for the most part. Yeah. There are some exceptions. But it does seem to be, well, I'll get this person on to say something outrageous and then we'll open the phone lines. And the fact that the phone lines are ringing is seen as a sign of success. But actually what we're getting used to is not necessarily very healthy or a true representation of the way most people think. But it's what listeners have been trained to do now.
So I miss... I talked about me missing being famous earlier on, and how I've often attached a lot of my self-worth to that completely vacuous concept. But I would like to do a late night phone-in show on a Sunday. Actually, now I think about it, just for the fun of it,
yeah.
And if there were enough callers, I would enjoy that, I think. But doing it for fun and for money, if someone said, here's 200 quid, go and do a 3-hour show, 10 till 1 on a Sunday night, yeah, I'd be up for that.
Yeah.
I'd be up for that. I can make that work easy.
The trouble is convincing a radio manager or someone who's in charge of the scheduling that is what people want.
And it's not me, I'm not hankering to go back. I'm perfectly fine that I've stepped away from all of that. But if someone came and said, here's money, do it. Oh, I would do that with great ease.
I miss being able to listen to something like that.
I think that's part of it, actually, is there is nothing like that to listen to. I can't fall asleep listening to Bezic because 45 minutes in, he's playing Dire Straits or something, and I can't fall asleep to it. I need speech to fall asleep. So I can't fall asleep to Bezic, unfortunately, which is a real shame. And also, it's it's a little bit dull. It's a little bit dull now. But I have all of those old shows on my Surfans F20 MP3 player, which I will listen to. So I started listening to a new podcast, and it took me. It took them saying the title for me to get the title. Oh, Filthy Ritual. And so it's Filthy Rich. And there was an article about it in the Telegraph, and I think Miranda Sawyer retweeted or something. I don't know. My Twitter feed is insane at the moment. I got no idea what's coming up in that.
I think she's got her own podcast out now called Paper Cuts, hasn't she?
I think she has.
Someone was saying was great.
But so this podcast got great reviews, and it's about a woman in Hampstead who claimed to be a faith healer, and she conned people out of millions of pounds. Right. I thought, I'll have some of that. And I listened to it, and they it's a true crime thing, but it's not a murder. And they say we normally do murders and stuff, but this is completely different. And then I got 10 minutes into it, and I went, oh no, this is going to follow the form. This is going to be exactly the same. The setting of the story, the background noises. Well, we came to a thing. And then I thought, and there's not going to be the cliffhangers, and it's 7 parts, and the ending is probably not going to be satisfying. I ain't getting involved in this at all. And I immediately unsubscribed to it because I don't like true crime. And even though this is slightly different, those things are now so formulaic.
Yeah.
So formulaic. And I cannot be bothered with that formula. My sister says it doesn't really go anywhere. I see, this is it. This is what I thought. I thought I'm going to get invested in this, and it's going to get to the end of episode 7, and I'm going to go, what? No, you haven't. Oh no, I've fallen for it again.
Yeah. I don't listen to true crime stuff anymore. I can't, and I can't watch it on TV either. The stuff I like to listen to generally on podcast, I like the historical stuff.
Like what?
Not just the Tudors I've been listening to. I like Kate Lister's Betwixt the Sheets.
Yeah.
I found a really great podcast actually by the Royal Astronomical Society called the Supermassive Podcast, and I found out loads about Saturn in the space of 40 minutes the other day that I didn't realise I was interested in. There are some out there. You just got to have the time and the inclination to go and have a little scoot around, and also to listen to something you might not necessarily be massively drawn to. That's the thing, we all go to the same old, don't we? And that's how you get fed up. And for example, with things like music, if you're into a certain band, you can get to a point where you go, I've heard this in a different order so many times that, it's not really doing anything for me. But I do enjoy the history ones.
Dave mentions a very specific radio show that I cannot comment on because I am looking forward to in a few weeks to recording some links for BBC Radio 4 Extra, one of the highlights of my work. So, Dave, I cannot comment on that. He says, do you remember the spoof true crime series about a kid drawing dicks on teachers' cars? No. And EDT says, I've slept listening to Old Harry's Game Round the Horn every night for the last 6 years. Yeah, me too. I hate Old Harry's Game, but I like falling asleep to it.
I like Round the Horn.
I like Round the Horn.
But I had it on tape back in the day, so I know more.
But I think, but obviously, clearly, Kenneth Williams in that is the Ali G of Round the Horn. But I love Kenneth Horne. I think he's so...
I like Betty Marsden.
What was he? He did a filthy joke the other day that was basically about bumming. Anyway, I can't think what it was.
A lot of them are in that.
Anyway, Kenneth Horne's great. What a voice. What a voice. I love Kenneth Horne. But that's what I like falling asleep to. I will fall asleep to either my DMs are open. Just listen to episode after episode after episode. If you're not listening to that, check it out. Or Radio 4 Extra.
There is another I must point out as well called Science Versus, and it's sort of myth busting. It's an Australian science journalist, and she has different guests on all the time. And the ones I listened to a couple of weeks ago, one about the gay gene, whether that exists, whether people are born gay, they look into that. Whether opposites attract. It's all kind of popular theories, and they kind of look into whether there's any actual science to them, and just the way it's presented is great.
And
but I tell you what else I noticed, because I to be honest, I was going for a job at that point, which was in podcasting, and they were looking for new recommendations. I had to listen to an awful lot of podcasts to find someone who had a microphone that worked and was in the same room as them, and also to find academics who were interesting. Some of them were all of them were very knowledgeable, but my God, dry.
Also, and of course, the other podcast I listen to is A History of Rock in 500 Songs by Andrew Hickey. I don't know if you've listened to it, Dave. I absolutely love it. I sort of know Andrew a little bit. It's an absolute joy. He will do 2.5 hours on Tomorrow Never Knows by the Beatles. It's just his research, chef's kiss. Absolutely love it. So that's the thing I'm big into at the moment.
But I am concerned though that there is a shift now towards this sort of radio on demand, which is what podcasts are, right?
Yeah.
Which makes people think that radio is dead. Doesn't necessarily need to be.
It's really interesting at Jack FM because when I worked there, it was impossible, I was told, for a presenter to do a show from home. I was told it was impossible.
Really? That's interesting.
Saw on their Facebook page that one of their presenters was doing a show from home. I was also told it was impossible to do an outside broadcast without lots of equipment and a mixing desk. I said, no, you can do it on a laptop. No, it's not possible. Dom was managing to do it the other day. And Will and I have been texting each other going, we were told, because I said to them, if I get COVID, what do we do? Well, you take 2 weeks off. Right. Because I could do the show from home. I've got the whole set. Yeah, no, it's not possible. It's not possible. I said, dude, we did the show from home for like a year
We
or
did the
however
show
long it was.
from listeners' living rooms.
Yeah. No, it's not possible because you still need an engineer to do this, and this, and this. That place, man. It Means Sun says, I listened to the Clinton Baptiste Paranormal podcast. You both might like it, though there's the new person on it, Linda, who's great. You two should hang out with her. You probably get on. I think she's common. I think she's filth. And I think she's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I can't argue with that.
We're not gonna watch any videos tonight. This is. I'm gonna be honest. I'm disappointed because we're gonna finish in a bit. We're trying to get it's my birthday week, and we're trying to get the dono bar up to 60,000, and at the moment it's at 76, not 76,000.
It's almost like
£76.
There's no way that's ever going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's pony. So thank you, Richard. There's the link. Click on it. Someone donate £1,000. Now.
You need to get Spend Love on them.
Now. Get Spend Love on them.
Tell him.
Come on,
Tell
guys. I can't remember the Spend Love speech. It's been so long.
It was when I started doing this show. The phone lines were ringing and she couldn't get the numbers down fast enough. Now it's all emails and text messages. And here's what I'm going to say to you. That doesn't change. I'm going to jack it in. Remember that lad? I think he jacked it in, didn't he?
I think he got the boot. The Queen Mother wrote to the BBC to save his job. Do you remember that? Queen Mother.
I remember he was one of the masterminds behind Oh Dr. Beeching. That's enough of an infraction for me.
That old lady we saw with Anita Dobson was indeed Louise Burton. I've just seen a picture on Facebook. Louise Burton.
Which was my theory.
That was your theory. So I am 50 this week, and you know what? I'm all set for it. Bring it on. Let's do it. Saturday's going to be a lot of fun. I will find it stressful, and it will make me uncomfortable. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun as well.
May I ask you a question?
Hang on a minute. Jim Bowen's tipped £23. Oh, we've done 1p. Baiting the odd number crew. Oh, thank you, Jim. Yes.
Iain, as you approach the second part of your life.
Oh my God, it shows on OBS how many viewers we got on Twitch. That's new.
Oh.
That's new. It's under under the activity feed. It shows me. Yes, Catherine.
Okay. As you approach the second part of your life, this new chapter.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the attitude and
towards homosexuality and how they've changed.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm all right. It makes me a little bit depressed because I'm close to death. That's not even a joke. You know, remember how quickly the last 20 years are gone?
Yeah.
70. Boom. Like that. I'm all right about it. The next 6-7 weeks are so busy with stuff, including Japan, that I haven't really got time to sort of settle down and think about it and sort of enjoy it. I won't really have time to enjoy it until I get back from Japan, I think, because it's just hectic up until then. Yeah, I'm cool with it. Saturday will be a laugh. Yeah, 50, there are a lot of women out there, Catherine, who find 50 very, very sexy. Very sexy indeed. The older man. I don't mean Philip Schofield older. I'm talking about women in their mid-40s.
There are also people who enjoy seeing people covered in custard. So there's
for goodness sakes.
Well, I'm just saying,
Give me a break. Let me enjoy it.
Enjoy it, yeah.
Let me enjoy it. Yeah, I'm set. Oh, do you know what? For a second, I thought we had actually gone up to £60,000, but I was looking at the wrong thing.
Oh.
I was looking at the number 60,000 instead of the number 99.01. Go and subscribe to our Patreon, guys. More than giving money. This is a joke, right? I haven't had anyone.
All right, royal blood.
I haven't had anyone come in and be indignant yet, but the Patreon is the best way to go. If you really want to support us, go to the patreon.com/Iain and Catherine, and $4.99 a month plus VAT. You get 2 shows a week, thereabouts, access to over 2,000 hours worth of podcasts and video. If you fancy joining us for the £15 plus VAT for a month, you get a private Zoom meeting with me, Catherine, and the other 15-pounders. 15-pounders. Patreon.com/Iain and Catherine. And we are committed. We're going to be carrying this on right through until the new year at the very least. Carrying this on right through to 2024. That's the plan, I think, Stan. I'm slowly running out of steam. Feeling a little bit sad because I got Dennis next door, and I will go and give him some more food, but it stinks of piss in there. I feel a bit sad because he's going. I kind of had started to accept that he might be a part of my. The plan was he was going to stay here for a month, and now because he's got FIV, cat HIV, feline HIV. He's going tomorrow, and I feel a bit sad, even though it's totally the best thing that could happen for him. They will find the grumpy woman, the mean, grumpy Cats Protection League woman, who better not say, if she says anything critical to me tomorrow, anything critical, then I will have that conversation in a very calm, rational way. If she says anything critical, I ain't standing for it.
No.
And I will tell her, I spoke to the vets and they're really unhappy with the way you speak to them as well. So it's totally the best thing for him. He will be found a lovely home. He'll be looked after. He'll be fed. He'll be safe. Perhaps even more importantly, other cats will be safe. I need to book my cats. It's Dan says, honestly, you're a saint for not just telling her to F off. I need to take my cats in for a blood test next week. I'm sure they're fine, but it's probably a sensible thing to do. I should probably get a blood test because I was bumming him.
Flipping it.
So what? So I'm gonna miss him, even though it's totally the best thing that could happen for him. You all right, Kath? It means son says you are.
Exactly.
So,
he needs to go and find his person.
So it's totally the best thing, but I'm gonna miss him, and I feel sad because I'll go in and after this and feed him a little bit. No refunds, by the way. And then I won't see him tomorrow morning. I'll see him and he'll be gone. Poor lad.
Yeah, but yeah.
Totally for the best. Totally for the best.
Please. Cannot stress it enough. Please do not think that you're doing them a favour by letting them keep their balls.
Oh, yeah. We don't even talk about the kittens. I don't want to talk about the kittens. So it's been one hell of a ride. You're absolutely right, Vision. It's totally for the best. It's totally for the best. I'm going to miss him because he's been kind of coming and going for the last 2 or 3 months. Betty's kind of sad. Betty was really upset when I told her that he had a blood infection.
Yeah.
And it meant he couldn't stay for a bit.
But just think, right? Look how Alistair is with Jeannie, right?
Yeah.
That's what he needs. He needs an Alistair.
Yeah.
And he'll find it. This isn't the right place for him. He's not going to be part of the Von Traps. He needs to be Annie.
That little boy. That beautiful little boy. And I'm trying to think if there's any other news. I don't think. Scouse says you're a good man, Iain. Did you not just hear the offensive joke I made? Would a good man make an offensive joke like that? I think not. So tomorrow I got clients. 3 clients, I think. And I've got the way I work, dear listener, if you're interested, is thank you for the sub Zero Entity. Is before anyone decides we want to work with each other as client counsellor, I give like a free 15-20 minute chat where they can kind of share what it is they might be looking for, and I can share how I like to work, and I go through all the confidentiality stuff, and there are instances when I would break confidentiality, so we talk about that. And then I always say, don't decide now. Send me an email in a few days when you rates. Anyway, I've got 2 of those tomorrow, so I've got 3 clients, 2 of those. Then hopefully my hot tub will have heated up. I intend to... Dave Dogface, $10.99. Sorry, the first one didn't go through. We'll try again. We're at £110. Thank you, Dave. Now we're getting there. So hopefully, I think I finish at 3 tomorrow. I'm going in the hot tub, listening to podcasts, living my life the way that I wanted to live. Oh, That reminds me, the Mary Tyler Moore documentary, Being Mary Tyler Moore. Go and watch. Jim Bowen says, is one of the confidentiality circumstances if they tell you something really, really, really funny? Yes, it is. Visionary and Gatford both asked for a hot tub stream. It's not happening. Dave says it's all fully confidential unless it will make for a funny story for the show. End quote.
It's like they know you.
The Being Mary Tyler Moore is good. It's a little bit dry. I would say it's a little bit dry. For someone who is so funny, it's a little bit dry. But it's 2 hours. She's so watchable. And she's got such smoky teeth in about 1989. These horrible smoky teeth. But yeah, I recommend that. I recommend that. Dan says the hot tub stream will get you up to 60k. Do you know what? It's not a bad idea, actually.
Oh my God.
And what I want to do is, like, just as Mary Tyler Moore broke boundaries for single women, I want to break boundaries for slightly overweight old men.
Because those guys haven't been running the show forever, have they?
Can someone, not obviously not you lot, because you're probably all woke, but can someone tell me, right, someone who doesn't like Prince Harry, what has he done? Right, if you don't like him, and I'm guessing most of you will because you're watching us, you're probably coming from a similar political background. Art of Creation official says no one cares anymore. Twitch is shite and Kick is best. I don't know Kick. Isn't Kick KI? No, I don't know Kick. But Twitch have just been caught out for changing the rules on advertising. Everyone's gone crazy and they've gone, oh no, we didn't. We've been unclear. We'll come back in a couple of days and be more clear. Well, one of your things was you couldn't show. Gatford, why did you time him out?
We were having a convo.
Gatford, why did you do that? Untime him out. One of the new rules for Twitch was that if you got sponsorship, the logo can't be more than 3% of the screen. And it's stupid rules like that. It's about splitting money and stuff. Anyway, I would love one Twitchy Fingerford. Sorry, but quick. I would love one person to tell me why they don't. What has Prince Harry done that means you don't like him? Because I can't work it out. I can't work it out. Sorry, there's a little burp there. Because he's dared to challenge the status quo. Yeah, but that's why the press don't like him. But the people that don't like him, Art of Creation is completely misunderstood. Harry was hacking. I think you misunderstood the story a little bit, but I'm guessing you're a bit thick.
I'd like to see it from your perspective. It sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're a bit thick. Art of Creation official as opposed to the unofficial. I would love to know what has he done. People get so angry and hate him. Why? What has he done? Cape Town Dean says Nazi fancy dress. That was 30 years ago when he was a kid.
They weren't bothered about that. They thought it was a fun time.
Yeah. So dressing up 30 years ago, is that enough? I don't think so. He didn't stay and take his shit sandwich. We want our royals miserable. He left the royal family in disrespect. Twitch King, how was he disrespectful to the Queen, please? And what? Oh, no, actually, all right, answer that. But also, are you saying that these are your points, or this is what other people think? It's difficult to get in text. So, are you suggesting that you are angry with you dislike him because he left the royal family? Is that you saying that, or are you suggesting other people might be saying that? I'll wait. Twitch King, 1979. What a year. What a great year 1979 was. It's difficult with... Do you remember when we started, we didn't really know how to deal with the chat and we got pissed off with it and we tried to stop it and then tried to ignore it and stuff. But it is... you don't get... I've been swearing. I really want to stop swearing on the show. It's difficult to get the subtleties on the chat. So Twitch King... Go on. Sorry, Catherine.
I think a lot of certainly the Daily Mail narrative appears to be that he is ungrateful. He's ungrateful. And that seems to be it. And also that he's being manipulated by a woman.
Gosh, Art of Creation official really is thick. I was a hacker when I was 16 on Yahoo. Who gives a shit? My brothers brought home a Costco pizza. My God, they're massive. DJ Blag, I had a look at Kick as some Twitch IRL streamers went over. Never again, very racist, sexist bullying. Jim Adebo, Harry has done nothing wrong. Of course, his mum was killed driving away from the Paps. I'm still waiting for Twitch King 1979. I'm assuming because you haven't replied, actually it's your thoughts. So can you tell me, why do you dislike him? Why is him leaving the royal family enough for you personally to dislike him? That's the question that I'm posing to Twitch King 1979. And I hope you don't feel I'm piling on to you or anything like that. Not in the slightest. You've just put that out as what I'm assuming is your reason why you don't like him. And I would love to discuss that with you. Oh, it's Dan said it's because Twitch King is the one true heir to the throne. Rob Wells says maybe Twitch King is King Charles. I hadn't thought of that.
Not with those sausages. You wouldn't be able to. Maybe that's why he's taking his time to type.
Yeah.
Can't find a pen.
EDD has gifted a sub. Thank you very much indeed. Twitch King, come on, man. I want to go to bed. I want to go and listen to My DMs Are Open on BBC Radio 4 Extra. Which is, I love all of the comedy shows on there, and I will be talking about them. In fact, you'll hear me talking about them while I'm in Japan, because I'm recording it the week before. I'm going into London on the day of the Kiss concert to do it. I'm thrilled. I love doing that for extra stuff. I record a week's worth of links in 2.5 hours, interview someone, a nice comedian, and that's that. Twitch King.
I think he might have left the building.
I think these people that... Twitch King, come on. You've been following since the 16th of March. You've only ever posted 3 comments from Twitch King. And none of them sus, so let me read them. One was on the 7th of April, 9:46. Good evening. The other 2 were tonight, 7:43. Hey, Ian, happy birthday for Friday. Are you still having your BBQ? Question, what chair have you got? I need a gaming chair. 9:33, because he left the royal family and disrespectful to the Queen. Twitch Queen. There we go. Okay, Twitch King says, did you read the spare book? The UK public have just gone against him since he left the royal. Sorry, was getting a drink. Oh, okay, right, fine, that's okay. We had hypothesized, Twitch King, that you may actually be King Charles.
We didn't think he may actually be thirsty.
No, didn't think. Well, thank you very much indeed. I loved the bit in the court case. I've not really been following it, but where he said that he referred to Paul Burrell as like that sneaky shit or something, that slimy shit. Yeah. Jim Bowen says if Twitch King hadn't returned, that would have been an ultimate cliffhanger. Have you seen how Sky are covering the story?
I know that they've got they're doing reconstruction, right?
You've not seen the actor? Oh,
I've seen pictures of him, but I won't watch that.
Oh, mate, what you got to watch it. Sky coverage, Prince Harry.
I just find it infuriating. Let the man live.
But I want to see.
There's nothing more powerful.
I want to see the actor. The actor's brilliant. And also, the actor's having the time of his life. Do you know what he's doing, Catherine? He's really acting it.
Is he?
He's really... I wonder if I can find it on Twitter. Hang on, it's worth having a little glimpse before we depart. Prince Harry, Sky News.
No royals were harmed in the filming of this documentary.
Well, one line of attack.
It looks like his beard was drawn on. That's what I noticed in the pictures.
All right, I can find. Is there a bigger? Here we go. I got it. This is really good fun. All right, big boy, dinner's coming. Share screen.
It's like the casting person went, "Can we find someone that looks like him?" No, just get a ginger in. They all look the same.
He's better than the bloke we had on that lookalike show I did for Sky. Here we go. Zoom screen. All right. So Sky News. In the phone hacking case, Prince Harry told the court that every single article played a destructive role in his life. There are no cameras in court, so as part of a special programme, Sky News has recorded what was said by the Duke, played by an actor. So here we go. All right, let's have it.
As a child, every single one of these articles played an important role, a destructive role.
Jim says Prince Larry.
In my growing up.
He's got an Action Man beard.
It's drama.
To give any confirmation that I can specifically remember reading the articles at the time, I believe would be speculation. Yes, as you said, more...
Why have they not got the person asking him the questions?
That's 2 actors. They paid
That's
him
true.
a fiver.
More than thousands, maybe millions of articles have been written about me since age 12. Yes, because it's 20 years ago.
Oh, Dean, well done. Eagle eyes. There's a reference for the kids out there.
Simply cannot speculate how it was and whether I saw these articles at the time. I certainly saw lots of articles at the time. The ones I was made aware of because of...
This is weird, though, isn't it, without hearing the questions? It's very weird.
Behaviour and reaction of people in my inner circle.
If I ever audition for a play or a movie again, I'm doing this. Dan says he's acting like he's delivering a GCSE drama monologue. I'm learning this.
Unfortunately, stories that I've only shared with 1 or 2 people within my inner circle ends up front page of newspaper or any page. Your circle of friends starts to shrink.
Jim says they should have him playing both, putting on and taking off the wig for each character changing. Absolute bell. I had my phone hacked. I've told you that. I've told you that story before. I had my phone hacked. Slimy little shitbags. On that bombshell, you know what? I think we're done. Let's see if there's anybody streaming that we like the look of.
He does
Thank
look
you,
like the guy
everyone.
that plays David Platt in Coronation Street.
He does, doesn't he?
Yes.
Let's go and raid Sketty, who shouldn't really be streaming at the same time as us. That's a low move, mate. That's a cowardly move, buddy. That is a cowardly move. Shame on you. In fact, we're all gonna go there, and when we get in there, go, shame on you, cowardly move. Right? Hang on, there's some of our people in there.
They better not be.
No. Shame on you, cowardly move. Everyone goes in. Have it typed, ready to go. Shame on you, cowardly move. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, everyone who donated, everyone who subbed to Twitch, and everybody who subbed to our Patreon while we were doing the show. We saw a couple of names pop up. Thank you. We are back tomorrow night for another free show at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock. The old late night alternative times. You're gonna join me for the first hour of my 50th birthday, and I cannot wait for it. I'm assuming we're gonna smash that 60 grand barrier tomorrow. What was it I said we had to type for him? Shame
on you, cowardly move.
Shame on you, cowardly move, as we steam into Sketty's. Has anyone typed it in yet? No, good. Right, let's all go in there. Shame on you, cowardly move. See you tomorrow at 10 p.m. Liam's only just got home. Unlucky. Goodbye. There we go. Shame on you, cowardly move. There we go.
Thank you so